All right. Hello, YouTube. Welcome. We are starting a few minutes early, 15 to be exact. I guess I could also send the social media blasts then, too. I forgot about that part. So yeah, let's, while I'm hitting send on all of this, of course, make sure none of them are being stupid like Facebook always is. There we go. All right. Social media blasts are sent and we're live. So welcome to the makeup. I mean, not kind of makeup. I guess we had to delay a week because of North Central Positronics being evil as always. But or let's see. Are we coming through all right?
Looks like it to me.
Okay. Just making sure. All right. Let's go ahead and what?
I sound funny.
What do you mean you sound funny?
I don't know. My voice, like how I hear myself sounds funny. Like my voice is too deep. It's like my bass turned down or something. Like it's weird.
I don't know.
Like you sound completely normal, but me, it sounds like I'm like James Earl Jones all of a sudden. Like I am your father.
I don't think any
Simba.
This is CNN.
This is CNN.
It's one of my favorite Simpsons gags.
It might just be me though.
Could be. All right, let's go ahead and hit the intro. We got a lot to cover. Also, I did update the slide here to show the email, website, social media, as well as Twitter going apart because they wouldn't let us do Dark Tower Palaver. It's two characters too long in the Patreon. So we'll still cover it in the stuff for the podcast side, but it is on the screen now. I thought about that while I was doing the prep. I'm like, why don't we do that? So let's go ahead and hit the intro and get started.
The Dark Tower by Stephen King. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Go then. There are other worlds than these. Death, but not for you, gunslinger. It's time we had our own Palaver, I think, and it's going to take a while.
And yet, doubtless, the slug horn to my lips I set, and blew. Child Roland, to the Dark Tower came.
We are content, one from many. Let the Palaver begin.
Hello and welcome to Dark Tower Palaver. This is our podcast covering Stephen King's magnum opus and the extended King universe, of course, because what doesn't belong to the tower? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, even Stephen King's life is the part of the tower, as we all well know. Of course, spoiling things here right before we get to the spoiler intro. But my name is Tad.
And I'm Peter.
And welcome. This is a week late. Apologies to everyone that didn't maybe see it on the social medias. I did check the video when I was going to change the date on it. I did see some people in there expecting the show to go live. So I also keep forgetting I could do text things on YouTube. So I did that kind of late, but I did do it. Had some internet issues. The fiber went completely nuclear and did not have internet for a couple days, and that is quite tragic.
No internet, make Tad go something.
Dude, it's wild how much of plus I have like smart lights and stuff. It's like, dude, there's light switches I haven't touched in this house for
a decade.
Yeah, a long time. So
you're like, wait, where is the light switch?
And I also put new bulbs in my room, and like for some reason those wouldn't trigger with the light switch.
Oh.
Like it wouldn't re-trigger them. They're smart bulbs, but every other smart bulb I've ever had, if you flip the switch, it'll turn them on. They'll be 100% and everything, which sucks. But like, it wouldn't. So I was just without lights in my room till got internet.
You're just out there with like a flashlight going around.
Pretty much. So
you got a lantern. Arthur, I have a plan.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that was the reason for the delay. So apologies on that. Largely we have a lot we're covering here. But I did actually stop the news pretty much about the time the last episode would have been. I guess I didn't have to, but honestly, I think we got a lot to talk about anyway. So
yeah, we still want the same amount of news for next week's episode because that is one of the things.
Next week is a book club.
Oh, it is a book club, but for next roundtable.
Yeah,
but I mean that is one thing we're going to talk about. We are not pushing any other episodes, so we will be back next week with our next episode
for our last non-Charyu Tree related book club.
Is it?
Yeah, March. Literally, the very first sub chapter that we start in March is literally she didn't know what was going on until she saw the redhead looking at her.
Farmer.
So like that's literally the very first line we're going to be covering in March. So
Yeah, I don't know if I want to read that one, Ted.
So one more not horrible type book
Yeah.
club. So also you made a disastrous mistake on the board there.
Did I spell something wrong?
You did.
I did.
You misspelled flag.
No.
Boy.
You had me questioning it if
Oh.
I misspelled aloud.
Oh, you misspelled flag, sir.
No.
Couple letters off there. I don't know what
No.
happened. You must have
Flag is terrible.
no
So
way,
are
sir.
you.
All right, so I've got a few things to dive into. Let's hit the intro stuff real quick before I forget about that, of course. First of all, this is a roundtable, so we will spoil freely of the Dark Tower series, all 7 books, 8 books. Sometimes the Win Through the Keyhole comes up a little bit less so, but it can. So if you've not finished 7 primary books of the Dark Tower series, you may want to cry off this episode and listen to our book club exclusively. I'm trying to think of what other non-Dark Tower stuff we might be talking about. There might be some ancillary stuff that might come up. So, spoiler warnings abound. Again, I don't think it generally matters, especially for the non-Dark Tower stuff, because King is so... I don't know. He doesn't really care about spoilers. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't really he doesn't write like M. Night Shyamalan style where like getting a plot point, spoiled, quote unquote, isn't going to like ruin the entire enjoyment of the story. So, then if you want to find us, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, or any podcasting service of your choice. If you want to subscribe, rate, and review us on those, we'd appreciate that. And if you want to join us live here on YouTube, you can do that over here at youtube.com/darktowerpalaver. Over here, we do our every other week. In this case, we have a 3-week gap, and then we have a 1-week gap on the other side here. But we do our live recordings. You could also go back and rewatch all the old ones. We've been doing this for years now on YouTube. You can find all of our old episodes dating back. I don't remember how far. It's quite a ways though. And then of course we have to say like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Otherwise, lightning teeth happen. So. Peter.
I'm going to request a button for this show.
Yeah.
You're going to say lightning teeth. I'm going to request a Palpatine unlimited power button so that when you say that, I can push it every single time.
One of these days.
So, Tad, if you would please.
Do it.
One of these days, I'm going to remember to go to the list and update buttons altogether. It's been.
I honestly think I should just stop updating the list. You just don't. You don't.
And then also, if you want to check out the show notes, you can find that at darktowerpalaver.com. That is the hub for all things Dark Tower Palaver. Also, one of the first things we're going to be talking about after the announcements and stuff here is March Insanity. You can also go to darktowerpalaver.com/March Insanity. After this, when this episode gets posted in the podcast feed, there will be everything updated that we're going to cover in this episode. So you'll be able to see all the brackets and stuff will be posted there, darktowerpalaver.com/March Insanity. And then if you want to support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/darktowerpalaver. At all levels of support, you get access to our monthly hangouts, our Discord server. You can chat with us all the time. I just threw a meme in there just a bit ago.
I have it muted for some reason.
Oh, that's right. So it was the screen grab was from the Big Lebowski when it's the 3 of them out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It's when John Goodman's character's like, because it's the nihilist. He's like, no, man, no, Donnie, these men are cowards. And they put the subtitle on it, Alan, Roland, and Cuthbert. It says, no, these men aren't gunslingers, they're cowards. So that's a great one. Merging the Dark Tower and the Big Lebowski. That's a great meme there. So you have access to that, as well as if you're at the highest level of support, you can co-host a show with us. Then if you want to contact the show, Peter can let you know the ways to do that and give us your Ermot remembrances.
No,
We're still getting our black armbands for Ermot.
Like it shows on the screen, the best way is email. It's show@darktowerpalaver.com. And then you can find us on Threads and Instagram as Dark Tower Palaver, all one word, no spaces. And then we have our Blue Sky account. It's at darktowerpalaver.bsky.social. And then our Twitter is at darktowerpod. That's at darktowerpod. Facebook.com/darktowerpalaver is where you find us there. And then check out our merchandise. It's tpublic.com/user/darktowerpalaver. Pick yourself up a hashtag Ted is Terrible shirt, sticker, pillow, phone case,
or the real
mug.
logo. Also, I did hear some very bad news. The COD TED 19 apparently is shutting down shop on Monday.
Oh, that's terrible.
So I've got to put in some final purchases there, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. But yeah.
We should get a Ermot is great and Ermot is terrible, and put both of those up, but get those both designed by Hayden, put both of those up, and then just see which one sells better.
We can do Flag, of course.
No, he's
flag thumbs up, flag thumbs down.
Flag thumbs up, flag thumbs down. I like that. It's simple.
Oh, all right. So yeah, so with that, let's go ahead and dive on over. The first thing we're going to be talking about is March Insanity. A week delayed, but we are unveiling the bracket. So just a reminder, 2026 March Insanity. We have 2 brackets. This is our second year doing 2 brackets. We've been doing, I think this is our 6th year doing the Dark Tower bracket. 5 of these years have been concurrent. 1 was a little bit offset because we did one and then didn't really repeat it for a while. Then decided like, wait, why are we not doing this anymore? So 5 years straight we've been doing it on Dark Tower side and 1 bonus year earlier on. And then this is our second year concurrently doing the Stephen King side where we're doing the non-Dark Tower Stephen King stuff. On the Dark Tower side, we have most tragic character. And then non-Dark Tower, on the non-Dark Tower side, we have most beloved character. We did most hated character last time. Patrick Hockstetter got, in my mind, had some massive upsets throughout that poll.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not saying it's not justified. There was some that I thought for sure he would lose. I thought he was going to lose in round 1, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he was up against old Henry Bowers, I believe.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that would go that direction. I mean, I understand why, again, when you read the books, like, Patrick is quite terrible, but then to go through and beat some pretty high level, hated characters in King. So, any predictions before we reveal the brackets here?
I know, because I don't want to sway votes or anything.
No. Now this is just the revealing.
I mean,
so any because I don't know. I guess there'd be no way to really know.
I mean,
for sure,
I know on most beloved character there is going to be some losers on there. Absolutely, there's going to be maybe 3. I wouldn't be surprised if there was 3 or more.
I can't remember. But let's start on the Dark Tower side. Let's go ahead and jump this slide over and show the bracket. So this is our full seating and everything. So up in the top left-hand side, we've got Jake Chambers taking on Shimi Ruiz.
Oof.
And then down 1 bracket, these are not the heavy hitters now. Allie from Tull versus Benny Slightman Jr.
Junior, not senior.
Very, very critical 2 letters there.
Yes.
Very critical. Next one down, the one that'll piss Peter off, Eldred Jonas versus Mordred Deschain.
What? Mordred, okay. I kind of understand that one a little bit, but Eldred?
Yeah, couple nominations there. So,
right.
yeah. Then down to the bottom side, our heavy hitter here is Roland Deschain, and he's going to go up against Oi. So that's that's an interesting.
Oi about to take his second bracket. His second. He's going to be a multi-time champion.
Yeah, we'll see on that. He's got to beat one of the heaviest hitters here first.
We'll see.
Then over on the other side, on the right side, we got Susan Delgado taking on Susanna Dean.
That's an interesting matchup.
So
that is.
Yeah. So Jake Chambers did take the most nominations. Susan Delgado took the second most. So yeah, the 2 Sues are lining up here. And then down below that, Father Callahan versus David the Hawk.
Ooh.
So that's a dark horse pick, I think, but honestly, like, I kind of agree. I get it. Like, especially for animal lovers, people that kind of see that David didn't really have much of a say in anything and was just kind of used very expendably.
Yeah.
So, and then down below that, we have Gabrielle Deschain versus Von Eisenhart.
Oh, okay.
So that's not a bad matchup. And then in the bottom right-hand side, our next big heavy hitter was Olive Thorin going up against Eddie Dean. So
my boy.
That is our 16. So
it's interesting when you think about like most tragic character, like, oh, who went through the most shit, and then you're looking at it like, I'm voting for this person, but it's like, kind of feel bad for voting for this person because they had a terrible time.
Yeah, some of these are going to be some Sophie's choice for sure. Some of these, I don't think there's anyone here that has no tragedy. I mean, you would probably argue Eldred Jonas, but I think from the perspective of also just like the fact that he is kind of a victim of that system, right? Like, we see his ability. So if he would have just been allowed to be a gunslinger, you're not telling me he wouldn't have been a decent, member of that order.
I think it's the whole thing is like he's not worthy because he didn't pass the trial.
But I'm just saying
why didn't he pass the trial? Because he's a piece of shit. I mean,
I don't know about that, but
I mean,
it's definitely kind of a piss poor system in my mind because you're going to lose good soldiers and you're going to need.
I don't know if I would call Eldred Jonas good in any way, shape, or form.
No, but if he would have stayed as a gunslinger, it would have been a much different outline of his life. It would
Or
have
he would
been
have
different.
Or he would have been corrupt and evil, just like he is. I mean, it comes down to a whole thing is maybe it's them recognizing that that's his nature, and the only way to weed out the people who are like him and like that is through the trial. And if they can't pass the trial, then
So you're getting into like the trial by combat thing where the gods decide there. And
it's kind of like the whole it's like the Spartan thing, like the only the best survive, that
yeah,
only the best become Navy SEALs, kind of thing, and everything.
yeah, but
So at that point, it's just like I understand where you're coming from.
yeah,
The people who wash out of Navy SEALs are not freaking deported from the United States of
Yeah.
America and never allowed to serve in the military again. They just go do something else and everything.
yeah.
I wonder though if there's more for Eldred. Like he's too bad. He's obviously bad. Like there's a reason he didn't pass.
But
his
it's
trial.
nature versus nurture, right? His nurture was quite terrible from the moment of his trial there. So anything beyond that,
I mean,
he's now going to be
Yeah.
a harrier and stuff. So
again, no one makes him go through the trial. He volunteers it. He challenges.
yeah,
It's his choice. So he could choose. Roland covered this. Many do not go through the trial and end up becoming like diplomats and stuff like that. And what are they called? Where they're like sent to a region and kind of like govern,
yeah,
but by proxy kind of thing. And there's like representatives, diplomats and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, he very well could have chose not to go through it and everything. It's that's where he was sent west and then he still chose. So that's where I have an issue it's poor guy, it's like he chose that life. It's like feeling bad for
well, no,
it's like feeling bad for Al Pacino in
well,
Heat.
he didn't choose in the sense of like getting sent out of the society, because I guess that's where I would say is him getting cast out of society what made him fall down those realm of choices. Like, is there that much that you could actually be good once you've been cast out, or is that kind of put you in a spot where you're ostracized?
There's
right?
nothing stopping him from going and being a farmer. There's nothing
Well-
stopping from him going and running security for a bank. There's nothing
Who
stopping
knows?
him.
Maybe he did for a while.
Again, you're saying everything that went wrong and everything but also at the same time he has choice. He has choice not to be a vile piece of shit working for the most evil person in the land.
Oh, that's funny. Like just a couple predictions. Any upsets you might see on the horizon there?
David the Hawk is one that I'm going to keep my eye on, and then the Gabrielle Deschain and Von Eisenhart matchup is. I'm not saying it's an upset if either one wins.
So that's more of a toss up for
I
sure.
can see that one being
Any of the four corners, would you say could potentially get upset?
Susanna Dean and Susan Delgado, I think, is the closest one, and then Oy versus Roland.
Yeah. Okay.
Those two are the ones where it's like, usually it's like you look at a character and you go, yeah, that's Jake's gonna beat Shimi, right? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of look at that and you're like, yeah, Jake's gonna beat Shimi. Like, Jake
Yeah.
had it really rough, but
That
you
is a
look
tough
at-
choice though, because Shimi's got a pretty terrible.
Shimi does, but
I mean,
yeah,
but then again,
one death versus five.
but then
you
again,
know?
we also don't know the entirety of what Shimi's life looked
Right.
like, because maybe it actually does line up a little bit heavier. But we pretty much see all of Jake's torment.
Yeah.
So, yes, indeed. Any shockers there?
I mean, Eldred's the biggest one. That I don't know.
Yeah.
That. Mm-mm.
I love that Mordred doesn't even get you any. Necessarily.
I thought Mordred is tragic from the first time I ever read the series. So it's like, he doesn't get that one. That one's more what you're talking about with Eldred is like nature versus nurture. Mordred was getting shot at from
the second he was born.
the second he was born.
Yeah.
Like what's he supposed to do at that point? Like,
yeah.
his nature as a spider is to eat. You
Yeah.
know, he consumed his mother and everything like that. He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's one where you can make the argument like Mordred doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
The spider especially.
Yeah.
But as he got older, he showed restraint. He showed like thinking. But you got to remember, like from his birth to his death is what, a couple months.
Yeah. Not
like,
much.
He's not even 6 months old. We'll call it that. He's not even 6 months old.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk about like tragic. Like,
Yeah.
Damn.
No,
you know?
for sure. And then last prediction wise, do you do you foresee anything other than Jake Chambers and Susan Delgado? Because again, those top two are our top two hitters. Do you foresee the finals being anyone other than those two? And you don't have to predict who or what or whatever, but do you think it's going to be Jake and Susan in the finals?
I could see one of them getting upset.
Okay. All right. And this is just the fun, like, whatever, make some speculations and whatever. So yeah, pretty solid bracket. Again, I think we kind of set it up front when when we came up with this topic is like, there's plenty of tragedy in this series.
Yeah.
Like there's some other series you could think of that you probably couldn't actually get 16 filled up, right? But this one, yes, there's ample. Now, speaking of ample, let's talk about the really tough one, because this is what do we talk, 70 something, 70, 77 novels. I think it's
60 something without the Dark Tower.
Yes, yeah, but 77 is what our count is.
Yeah.
And ultimately, so it's like, yeah, almost every book's gonna at least have someone beloved, most likely. Don't look at the list, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't look at that yet. If you
knew right where I was going too. Like,
let's see. Baraki says we don't see anything of Eldridge's previous life other than that he was a failed gunslinger. But by the time we really see him, he was already old, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. Is like, who knows? Like, was he like a shitbag from the moment he was cast out, or is that something that like came, with an age where it eventually gets to the point where you can't just be a hired gun like the samurai type. Like there comes a point when the only ones hiring people like that are not necessarily good people.
Yeah.
So you never know. I mean, it's kind of like I said with Shimi. With Shimi, there's a lot of unknown there. Like there's a vast amount of time between there that it's like God knows what happened in that period of time.
It's the same with Allie. You don't know everything from her. You know that little brief spell that she's with Roland and Tall.
Yeah,
that's it. And then what happens to her is obviously tragic.
Yeah.
But you don't know anything that happened before that with her. We know that she gets scarred a little bit. So
yeah,
there's a lot there. But I'm just saying with Eldred, you had to make some choices to end up as a dirtbag.
And let's do that this way for the second one. Don't look at the screen. Screen
down.
Just respond to them as I give you the matchup.
Screen down. Can't
All right.
see.
So let's jump on over to the. Let me make sure I've got it lined up. The next one.
You people watching live can see it.
Yeah, you guys can. I just want to see your reaction as we go through here. So, not on the non-Dark Tower side, on the King side, we got 2026 as the most beloved character. So, top left, number 1 seed, John Coffey.
Yep.
John Coffey, and he is going to be going up against Andy Dufresne.
Oh my!
That's a stout matchup. Down a bracket, so this is kind of in the middle meat section. So the people that didn't necessarily get as heavy as stuff. Remember the 4 corners are the heaviest hitters, and then the ones that match up with them are the next 4. Like
when
most,
Tad
so it kind of circles around.
Yeah, when Tad says heavy hitters, he means the most nominations from either us or you, the fans.
Yeah. So coming down into like the kind of the softer realm, we've got Danny Torrance / Dan Torrance, because I feel like how you word that almost feels like 2 different characters. No, it's one person. But like
40 years apart, right?
Yeah, but it's like I want to make sure that we're clear that we're talking about the entirety of his life. Just because we're calling him Danny doesn't mean we're only talking about The Shining here. And he is going to be facing off with Bill Hodges.
Oh, okay.
And then
the debt rep.
Yes, indeed. And then going down another step here, we have Tom Cullen.
Okay. M-O-N spells Tom Cullen.
Indeed. Going up against Gordy LaChance from The Body.
From The Body. Okay. That one's I'm not as familiar with that one.
Yeah.
So
and then going down to the far right hand side, we have our heavy hitter here on the bottom left. Our heavy hitter is Holly Gibney.
Holly.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is a stout matchup versus Richie Tozier.
Rich. Ooh, Richie, round 1. Let's go.
That's a fight there.
Yeah.
And then jumping over to the other side here, our second heaviest hitter in the entire bracket, Beverly Marsh.
There's 2 losers.
So,
yeah.
And you're not going to like this.
Okay.
You're not going to like this matchup here. Beep Richie in the chat there.
Beep.
So Beverly Marsh is going up against Charlie McGee.
Ooh.
That's a good one for you there. That's yeah.
I think I nominated both of those, if I remember right.
And again, in the 4 brackets entirely, the non-heavy hitters that are on the inside of those four brackets, those ones are still heavy hitters too. That's like your next 4 most nominated.
Yeah.
So honestly, I like that though, because then it's like iron sharpens iron. Let's get like the four heaviest versus the next four heaviest, and let's pair them all up and get that round one bloodbath going. So, indeed. So, going down a step here, we got Nick Andros versus Dick Halloran.
That's our first stand character.
No, we had Tom Cullen.
Oh, that's right. We had Tom.
Yeah,
I forgot about Tom.
Yeah, because I was tracking that a little bit too in terms of like losers and
which
versus
got the most nominations.
Yeah. And then we've got going down one more bracket. We got Ben Hanscom.
There's the third loser
versus Glenn Bateman. Old Baldy.
Another stand.
So perfectly balanced as all things should be. And then at the bottom right-hand side, our biggest, our other heavy hitter here, I think it was our number 4 heavy hitter, was Jack Sawyer.
From the Talisman.
Facing off against Sadie Dunhill.
Oh, yeah, from 11/22/63.
Yeah, so that
Not Jake, Sadie.
Yeah, Jake was on there, but he did not get enough nominations to make the actual bracket. So you can look now. That's the full bracket. So I like having the reactions there. That's that versus being able to kind of look ahead and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that overall, what do you think?
I got some surprise snubbage. Missing not enough nominations to make the bracket.
This was a stout one, man.
Yeah.
This one was like. It was brutal. Yeah, there was some on there that was like you would have thought for sure they would have made it, and I'm
kind of surprised that Glenn Bateman makes it over Stu Redman and Larry Underwood.
Yeah,
that one kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
No Stuttering Bill.
Yeah,
from it.
Yeah,
a lot of people love Bill Dembro, so that one okay.
Well, I mean, he did let his brother go out there.
Oh my god.
Oh,
you are just the worst.
So, any other surprises there?
I don't remember Gordy. I don't remember the body very well. I know the premise of the story. They go to see a body, and I know that this stuff happens along the way. I just don't. Yeah. I don't remember that story, so I don't remember that one. Baraki says, "Beep beep, Ted."
We also have both Bill and Holly on here.
Yeah.
So that surprised me a bit just because they're on the newer side of I know they've been around for 10, 15 years now, whatever it is, probably 10 or so years.
The newer side.
But on the newer side of the overall, I was kind of happy to see some newer characters, Sadie Dunhill as well on the newer side. It was kind of cool to see. So in terms of, I guess I can't remember the exact questions I asked you, but do you think John Coffey versus Beverly Marsh, do you think that's what we're seeing in the finals?
No.
So very resounding prediction on an upset there.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, I guess I didn't even ask you this on the other one, but I'm just
sorry. I would. It's going to be hard pressed for Beverly to get out of round 1. Charlie McGee is.
Yeah, that's I knew that was going to be an interesting one for you for sure. And then what about let's see. What do you okay, I didn't ask this on the other one, but what do you think first round, what do you think is going to be the hardest one for you?
The hardest one for me,
like one that you might agonize over a little bit.
I mean, Beverly and Charlie is going to be a tough one.
That's what I figured might be.
It is going to be a tough one. Honestly, no, you know what? Danny Torrance and Bill Hodges.
Yeah.
That's how much I love Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Like The Shining, it's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Don't mind it. But I love Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Especially when we're talking like the modern with like the adult Danny and everything that he goes through and everything that he comes back from. But then you also have Bill Hodges.
Yeah.
3 amazing books with Bill Hodges. I love going through the Bill Hodges trilogy. It's so good. And everything that he does to help Holly, to help Jerome, and everything.
All the cases.
All the cases are fantastic.
I mean, helping the people in the cases. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
Now, I will say, of course, Randall Flagg getting snubbed is quite disastrous there. Where's Flagg here? He should be the highest nomination.
I mean, we talked about this. He doesn't belong on here.
Sure he does.
No, he doesn't.
How's anyone more beloved than him, sir?
He's not beloved. He's terrible. No, if it was the most, terrible character.
No, he did that last year.
It would only be 2 characters. It would be you and him. That would be it. So.
Oh, all right.
Baraki says, I know it would have been a long shot, but I'm surprised Trisha McFarlane wasn't there. But this bracket is going to be very subjective. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think a large part of it comes down to what book you gravitate to, which is why if you look at my nominations, I think I nominated 5 of the losers.
Yeah.
So it's
I also may have been a tiebreaker on Glenn versus Larry and Stu. as well.
How dare you?
Well, not that I saw what it was before, but when I put my nominations in, I know I nominated Glenn, and I didn't nominate.
I don't care. How dare
I didn't
Larry
nominate
and
Larry and
Stu
Stu.
belong
Nah.
in the most beloved character
No,
conversation.
Glenn is my favorite, dude. Old Baldy. He's one of my. I will also say some ones that missed the nominations, but were nominated.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, I just blanked on his goddamn name. The dog from Fairy Tale. Radar.
Oh, Radar.
Kojak as well. Had some healthy amount of nominations,
Yeah.
but this was a stout one. Getting into this bracket, it was kind of a fight in and of itself, because there was this, again, we're talking, nearly 80 novels, and we're just talking the novels, I guess. We're counting the whatever, but ultimately the other part of it. So 78 books. But there's also short stories in some of those, and
Yes.
some of those have 20 to some odd whatever. So it's like this could have
There's a
been
lot of characters.
this could have been quite.
I was saying this one could be 64.
Yeah, this one probably. Yeah,
This one easily
could.
could have been 64 characters.
It could.
How
So,
many votes did Cujo get? Nominations did Cujo get?
I think Cujo was on there. I think Cujo was
know
on
he
there.
was.
I think Tad was on there as well.
I know that
so.
Cujo was on there for sure.
I
nominated him.
what's his name? The sheriff.
Pangborn?
Pangborn got some nominations. Now there was a lot of nominations for sure, but yeah, that is where we ended up. Again, it was a pretty healthy fight to just get on the bracket,
Yeah.
but this is who got on the bracket. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the schedule then. Just like always, every year it's always the same. First round goes March 1st through 8th. Second round will be March 9th through 16th. Final four 17 through 24, March 17th through 24th, and then the finals is technically a smidge shorter than the rest of them. I think it's short by a day, but it's the 25th through the 31st. So that is the voting, and then when we come back in April, we will go through and finish or kind of reveal all the winners. There will be short videos posted on YouTube as the weeks go. I'll pop on here and kind of recap the rounds as we kind of go through all that. So
Yeah, just so everyone knows the dates. April 11th is our first episode after the finals.
Oh, that's good. Sometimes the April episode ends up falling really damn early, and it's like, it's
Nope.
very quick. So that's nice.
Nope.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the news. The big one, of course, Talisman 3 has got its title and its release date.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So yeah, for this is from Stephen King's official website on February 8th, 2026. The title is Other Worlds Than These.
Whoa. Is this the cover?
And this is the cover. This is the extended cover. The right-hand side, if you're watching on the YouTube, of course, if you're on the podcast side, check out the show notes. On the right-hand side is the full-on cover, and that's like more rectangular. But this is one that was on a future article that we're going to be covering that had the extended one. And of course, there's no way I wasn't going to put this extended one. For one, it fits better than a rectangle does on the screen. But secondly, how am I not going to put that on
Filled
there?
with roses.
With a door in there.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at the cover, just before we dive into anything else, so we got T3 on the top of this like shed thing. We have
It's a barn.
the door going in, and the door, it goes into the field of roses. So I'm guessing we're seeing both sides of this doorway. Is what I would assume here
What it looks
with
like.
with this extended one. So T3 for Talisman 3, Other Worlds Than These. We got Stephen King above, Peter Straub below, and then it says a Talisman novel. So very black and white, except for Through the Door, where Through the Door is very, very richly colored. So going on here, I mean, with all of King's tweets and stuff, there's no surprise with the Dark Tower connections. But this title though, that is very very provocative
Yeah.
title.
And then the cover being a field of roses.
Yeah,
is something.
partially, because again, the right hand side's the full on cover.
I mean, the person standing in a field of roses.
Yeah,
So
no, for sure. So, yeah, very, very, very exciting. I mean, the title kind of had me pumped because I'm just like,
yeah.
I mean, we knew with we covered it at length, all the stuff that King was tweeting and stuff, and it was like, he was very much saying, so much so that we actually, we were actually wondering if he was writing a new Dark Tower book entirely before he finally made it clear that no, he's talking about Talisman 3, and the territories in Midworld have always been the same thing as what he said in one of his tweets and stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's like, this isn't a surprise, but I mean, I almost feel like this is more of a Dark Tower title than it is a Talisman title. So.
It's literally a quote from book one.
Yes,
So.
in our intro and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, indeed. So the release date is October 6th, 2026. So it is coming out this
Okay.
year. As I predicted, I
End of the year.
I said if we got into like the realm of like April or so, late April, and we hadn't had an announcement yet, then it might not be coming this year, because just the way book releases work, usually it's about January, February that you
Yeah.
release that if it's coming out in the fall or whatever. So, but yeah, luckily we have our announcement here. So October 6th, right in the beginning of spooky season.
Okay.
So
let's go.
So the synopsis now. Now here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
So the first thing, the slug line they literally post at the very top of it all is a quote from King. I wanted to go back to Midworld, which has always been the territories by another name. So they literally are putting that quote that he's basically been telling different versions of on social media and stuff. So we have that. And then going on down below that, it says, this is Stephen King and Peter Straub's epic and unforgettable finale to the Talisman trilogy, including the novel The Talisman and Black House, the novels Talisman and Black House, and wrapping up the fate of the world in King's iconic, fiercely beloved Dark Tower epic. So let me just repeat that there.
Wrapping up
the fate of the worlds in King's iconic and fiercely beloved Dark Tower epic. So for one, I think this is the end of the Dark Tower series.
That's
amazing. I think this is probably the door closing on the Dark Tower series entirely.
Oh wow.
Just the way that's worded, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Wrapping up the fate of the worlds. So also
plural worlds.
Also, there's part of me that asks there then, was the fate of the worlds in doubt at the end of the series?
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder could we actually get some
obviously yes. Why would you ask that? Roland's starting again, but he has the horn. What does that mean? And it's the question of the ending. Of course. What do you mean? There is no conclusion.
Yeah.
Does he make it again? Does he ever fail to make it and the beams break and the tower falls? Yes, of course. We don't know.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder, man. We talked about it before. Are we going to see Roland in this fucking book, man? So, if Otherworld's Needs does fit into the Dark Tower, I wonder where. The Wind Through the Keyhole is Dark Tower 4.5, for instance. And yeah, honestly, like I think this is after, like just with that line there. You know,
the conclusion.
This is wrapping up the fate of the worlds in King's iconic and fiercely beloved Dark Tower epic. So, I kind of think this might be in the new cycle too. That's what I'm kind of wondering is if we're going to get some. Also, the other thing is, what has King been talking about for years? The Battle of Jericho Hill.
Yeah.
Does that find a way into this somehow?
As a memory, or does someone travel there?
Exactly. Because I'm like, with that just that one line right there, I feel like to me is just like, there's a lot to unpack when it comes to us Dark Tower fans, right? Because I mean, the other part of it too is I'm also looking at it mathematically. King is not a spry young chicken anymore. So like, every book we get from this point, it's like I've been saying for 10 or 15 years, every score I get from John Williams is manna from the heaven, and it's
it's a gift,
a man well beyond what is the average age for male life expectancy in the 70s, something like that. So it's like, well beyond that. And King's lived a very rough life. So like, I mean, not to mention surviving the car accident and stuff. So, I kind of have to wonder if, if Jericho Hill is not in this, then I just kind of wonder, do we ever get it then, or if that is that always just kind of a thing that King always wanted to come back to? Yeah. But if we don't get it here, I wonder if it's just something that he just never is going to find a way to do it. So, that's not all of it, but I did kind of want to stop there because obviously that's huge, and beyond just the title, which already kind of tells us like, hey, because let's just say we hadn't been following the news like we have, right? Like if we didn't do this show, I think the title would have every ears perking up of every Dark Tower fan on the planet.
Absolutely.
And obviously we've been following all the clues and all the hints where, I don't think we're necessarily surprised in the fact that there's a lot of crossover with Dark Tower and Talisman 3. But if you weren't following along as crazy as we have been, this title gives, does it. And then with the synopsis saying that's pretty crazy to me. And then it goes on here. It is also a magnificent standalone novel that will appeal to new readers as well as to King's constant readers. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Now, did you ever interpret like Black House, for instance, as one that you could read without having ever read The Talisman?
I don't remember Black House very much, but I don't think so.
I wonder if they would have marketed it the same way or not. But, so that's kind of an interesting thing to say, that this works as a standalone novel. So if they got new King readers, you can dive on in here, it sounds like. So, and then jumping down another paragraph. So Otherworlds, so that is just almost feels like almost the sales pitch a little bit.
I just went and added it to my Audible wish list.
Okay. So then below that, here's where we actually get the real synopsis here. So Other Worlds Than These is the story of Jack Sawyer, whom readers first met when he was 12, crossing America and the territories to save his mother's life, and met again in Black House, where Jack faces a child killer and the Crimson King, among other evils, it says in parentheses. In Other Worlds Than These, Jack must stop a rampaging gang of infected teenagers from America's side. So that's very interesting. And the forces of the mysterious gullet at the edge of Midworld. So before it destroys our world and all worlds. Jack is older now. His quartet, literally the word being used there, and in parentheses, echoing the world of Roland, is fraying, and his task is nearly impossible. So, okay, so now, again, this is Dark Tower coded all over the goddamn place. Like, this is not even like, there's no ambiguity. There's no like, oh, we might, happen to just whatever bump into someone. Like, I feel like this is very like, I don't know. This is wild.
There's a real chance that Roland shows up in this.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering that, especially wrapping up the fates of the worlds in King's iconic and fiercely beloved Dark Tower epic. It's like, is that not tied to Roland? Like, and again, are we going to see him on the other side of the loop? So the things to break down there, in Other Worlds Needs, Jack must stop a rampaging gang of infected teenagers from America's side.
So wait, hold on. From America's side, what if the gang is not on America's side? What if they're on Midworld side, and that's how they're infected? Think of like the Europeans with the Native Americans. You bring your diseases over, kind of thing.
So walk-ins,
but the opposite way, because they're from America's side, so they would be going to Midworld. So that's interesting. Infected teenagers, a rampaging gang of infected teenagers from America's side. So infected, and what does that mean? Are we talking zombies here? Are we talking disease? Like there's questions built into all this. There's definitely, it's very I feel like, of course, I mean, not to say we haven't done similar things to this to break down all these things for all new King novels we've had during the course of this show, but I feel like this one is the first time that we've truly had a Dark Tower thing to cover in the time of the show. So Right Through the Keyhole came out
2012
before we started podcasting. So.
3 years before we started, indeed. And then it says, so there's that, and the forces of the mysterious gullet, and that's proper, that's capitalized. So gullet is a title, at the edge of Midworld, before it destroys
edge of Midworld. So when we think about that, we got to remember that there is Endworld, and Inworld. So it's a matter of which way we're going for Midworld. Because Midworld sits in between the two.
And are we talking geographically?
Yeah.
Or are we talking like...
I'm thinking the edge, that's more... That
but I mean, what I'm saying...
Sounds geographical.
But are we talking more like hypothetical in the sense of like, someone that's maybe like has a doorway and they're right on the edge of, coming in and out of...
between Midworld and America's side.
It could be. I'm just saying, if you wanted to look at it from that theoretical aspect, like maybe it isn't actually geographical. So it could go either way. And then, of course, Jack is older now and his quartet is fraying and his task is nearly impossible. And then again, after quartet, it does say echoing the world of Roland. So the fact that it's calling quartet, and who's his quartet?
Wolf
died in the first book, didn't he?
But his brother is the one that drives him home.
Yeah.
So
we also don't know how long it's been since Black House as well. So it's like we don't know how much older.
I don't remember Black House almost at all.
We have some stuff to cover here that we'll get into that. And then it goes on and it says magnificent, riveting, full of heart and humor. Other Worlds Than These is a spectacular, propulsive adventure that features 30 exclusive black and white illustrations by artist Gabriel Rodriguez.
Ooh.
And I believe he's done some animations for previous books, as well as he did some stuff for Joe Hill, including he's the one that worked on Lock and Key that Joe Hill did. They just made a graphic novel of his book, and Gabriel Rodriguez is the artist for that thing. What was it, Holly? It's something very recent, King wise. He actually did some illustrations for as well. So the title is instantly announces to readers who already know these other worlds that King has returned to them. So I think that's talking to us, right? The title instantly announces to readers who already know these other worlds that King has returned to them. So that's talking about us legitimately, right?
Yeah.
Like we know the second we read the title, where it's just like, again, even if we weren't Dark Tower Palaver, we were just Dark Tower readers that never started podcasting with microphones, and we just talked like this all the time. I don't know if we would have necessarily covered the news as granularly in our normal lives as we did starting the podcast. So let's just say in that alternate universe where we didn't do this podcast and we were just nerds that talked about this shit, the second we saw this title, I mean,
you would know it's a Dark Tower related novel.
Yeah, and then this cover for God's sake too.
I mean, honestly, you wouldn't know necessarily if it wasn't a Dark Tower novel until you see that little almost sticker that they put right above the Straub and Peter Straub, a Talisman novel. It's like,
Talisman novel, yeah.
But you have a Dark Tower title.
Yeah.
So it's like...
So ultimately, yeah. So if we didn't have all the backstory of what we've been doing on this and we didn't know that Talisman 3 is in development, we would have saw this and we would have been like, oh my God, there's a new Dark Tower novel. And that would have been like the talking point. So literally like us being so goddamn ingrained in King shit, like is the only reason that we're probably not going out of our fucking minds thinking this is just a whole Dark Tower novel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course it doesn't have the Dark Tower like on it necessarily, so that would have clued us a little bit, but you didn't really start throwing the Dark Tower on like the titles of them until the last 3 books, right? Because like when the first like Gunslinger, the first whatever, like I don't think that, did they say Dark Tower on them?
I think they did.
I don't remember. And then the last line here, other worlds in these will appeal to new King readers and his constant readers. So that is exciting. Any thoughts? I mean, beyond some of the stuff that I already kind of pointed out. Any like what are your
the first edition of The Wastelands is titled Dark Tower 3: The Wastelands, Stephen King. So they do call it out like that. I think this is going to be amazing. I think that it's going to give us an ending to the Dark Tower, whether we wanted it or not.
Yeah.
That's a question some people may not want.
That line, man, I think that line is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Again, like wrapping up the fate of the worlds in King's iconic and fiercely beloved Dark Tower epic. So it's like, and again, like if you would have asked me beforehand, like, oh, I think we even debated it. It's like, do we think Roland's showing up in this? Are we actually going to see our quartet? Even like, and I think we even debated, would it be the current quartet or the old school quartet?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what timeline but I think now we're in the future. I think we're beyond the last line of book 7 and the first line of book 1. Like I think we're in if we're seeing Roland, he's gonna have a horn on his hip is what I'm saying. But yeah, this is
I will say one thing that I'm already gearing myself for is don't get too fixated on hypothesis for the Dark Tower, because if King decides to go one way and it doesn't match, don't be the one that's like, oh, this is terrible because it's not what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully people have learned that already, because the last 3 books upset a lot of people for various reasons, even though they've all come around on them now. It's kind of funny. We have actually seen that in the course of our show. I don't know if you see it as much, but like, because there was like, it was the last 3 were considered divisive and stuff and whatever. And I think over time people have come to realize like, no, they're great. And there's still some people that every once in a while or whatever, but yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, hypothesizing is great. I certainly, you got to always be open-handed with your hypothesizing though, for sure.
I've seen that way too much, especially with stuff like Star Wars, where it's, well, this would have been so much better if they had done it this way. And it's like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. It's great to have hypotheses. It's great to have hopes. But at the end of the day, it's still Stephen King's story. Like, like him and Peter are the only 2 that can decide where this book goes.
Yeah.
And I worry that there's going to be a lot of backlash if it goes one way and that's not where the majority of people thought it would go.
Yeah.
Because what if Roland never had to cry off the tower? I know that's like your main, hypothesis and stuff like that.
Here's one I'll throw at you.
Yeah.
What if we find him in the midst of his next journey after the last series and he's got the horn?
Yeah.
What if he's got a whole different quartet? Because we've debated out over the years. We don't know.
Does he always pull Eddie, Susanna, and Jake?
I think Jake is the linchpin though, so I think Jake would still be there. But the other 2, who knows? Like we've debated that a lot over the years, where it's like, is it always?
What if instead of a Billy Bumbler, it's a Saint Bernard named Cujo? It could be
a beast.
I mean, no, he's adorable.
No, he's a beast.
He's
all Saint Bernards are evil.
No.
They're monsters.
No.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah, go on.
No, I just that's my biggest fear when I hear that it's concluding. It's like, yes, I'm so excited. I really am. I can't wait to read it. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh, please don't don't split the fandom. Don't give us that where people are gonna bitch for the next 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is King will do King. Right?
He doesn't care.
He's just going to do his own thing.
Yeah.
So, also, I went over to Simon & Schuster's website. I'll link that in the show notes as well. I have some other information.
Baraki says, also, if King tries to write something that'll make everyone happy, it'll make nobody happy. That's 100% true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Rise of Skywalker. Where they just went to Reddit and went, well, let's just go see what script we can write from all the dumb shit on Reddit.
Oh, wow. This guy likes this. That guy likes this. She likes that. Let's put that all in the movie. And then everyone went, the fuck is this?
It looks like a 5-pound bag with 15 pounds of raccoons thrown inside of it. They're all fighting together. It's like, that's what, sorry, I'm not trying to riff on that. But so Simon & Schuster's website, King teased months ago that he was working on it and it was going to be a long one. Well, he wasn't necessarily lying. The length, the hardcover is 624 pages.
Okay.
And the audiobook is showing 30 hours.
Nice.
So
I think that's as long as Talisman was. I just finished Talisman.
And I will also say, let's just put a caveat on the audio, though, because I don't know if 30 hours is exact, because that's way too, rounded number. So it's like, I think as we get closer,
it could be 28.
They probably haven't even actually recorded the audiobook, because that's the other thing. Every book that's come out now, we always have to kind of wait, and it's usually a month or so before the book comes out when they finally announce the narrator. So they probably haven't even picked a narrator, let alone started recording it yet. So, I think there's probably some kind of formula they have where it's like page count equals roughly this amount of hours.
Yeah.
So either way, that gives us a rough estimation. Also, there you go. What about narrator?
Ooh.
You know what I'm going to say? I want George Guidell.
Yeah.
That would be, can you imagine the triumphant return of George Guidell?
That would be awesome.
And how much more King or Dark Tower can you get than pulling in George Guidell as the narrator? So
Talisman page count is between 650 and 950 depending on the edition. Paperback.
Wait, 650 and 950?
That's depending on the hardcover paperback.
Oh yeah, if you go, Jesus.
Original hardcover goes from 646 to 656 depending on the edition. Paperbacks go from 768 to 944. Depending on
I guess that makes sense.
So when you're saying 30 hours, that's probably where they're getting that from, because that is I could pull it up. I literally just finished it a couple days ago. I think the Talisman is about that long on Audible.
Yeah. So all right, so we have one other article that's going to kind of go into this as well, and it's our good old boy Anthony Breznican. So
Anthony,
we got a exclusive is the title here, the first excerpt from Stephen King and Peter Straub's ending to the Talisman trilogy. So I don't know how the fuck we already have an excerpt, but
Jesus.
But this also is an Anthony Breznican article, so there's plenty of information in here as well.
Talisman is 28 hours exactly on Audible.
Okay. So Anthony Breznican, and he is currently writing for Esquire on February 9th, 2026. So Breznican recaps that readers and even Straub and King have hoped for a third installment of the Talisman series for years, and it seemed like it would never happen. Of course, then seemingly becoming impossible when Straub passed away a couple of years ago, I think 2022. He then recalls the story of how this entire series came to be. In 1977, the two seemingly mismatched horror writers were both visiting, and this is all new information. I didn't know all this.
Okay.
We're both visiting the UK independent of each other, and they arranged to finally meet one another in a centuries-old hotel just off of Piccadilly. Straub said this in a 1984 interview, quote, "I walked into the Browns Hotel and I looked all around, and it's really an Agatha Christie land. It's retired colonels and little old ladies in tweed suits and funny hats and people with canes and Annie massacre. It's basically the little doily shit you throw over the back of a chair."
Yeah.
I don't know how to say the word. I looked it up and I already forgot. Down the hall comes this huge lumbering character with a beer in one hand, and I believe he said Peter, so I knew who he was. So that's the image for you there.
There you go.
It's basically a game of Clue.
Yeah.
In a 100 some odd year old hotel in the UK. So that's one thing I can't wait to see when I want to visit the UK at some point, is just the age, because I think it's something we in America just don't have. Like the oldest we got here is a couple 100 years old tops, and it's just, so to go to and Italy's probably even more so, right? It's like there's the Colosseum that was built thousands of years ago. It's like, It's insane. And then Bresnikan goes on and says, from the bonds that formed that night in London came the Talisman. During the writing process, the authors traded chapters via twin word processors. They were connected through direct line. I actually never knew that either. Which seems like science fiction. It would seem like science fiction at the time, long before the internet made such things like that seem mundane. So yeah, in 1984, in the 80s, basically, like, that's wild. They basically had a phone connected of their two word processors, and I think we've kind of got the gist that they basically traded off back and forth, and we've kind of heard that before, but I didn't know it was that technological. Jack Sawyer's name was actually inspired by Mark Twain's Tom Sawyer. I didn't know that.
I knew that one.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
It's quoted at the end of Talisman.
Okay. The book just missed making the New York Times bestsellers list. It missed out largely because it released in November, so it ran out of runway before the calendar changed over. So apparently things don't carry over into the new year for New York Times bestsellers. The book had many famous fans, including Dune author Frank Herbert, who called it a fine variation on suspense and horror, as well as Steven Spielberg, who bought the rights indefinitely and still has done diddly squat with them for over 40 years later. And that may be my wording there. So Bresnikan is not nearly being as rude towards old Spielberg as I am. Then in 2001, the sequel Black House came out, which had a grown-up Jack re-exploring the territories. Like the original, it drew inspiration from the 19th century literature, specifically Charles Dickens' Bleak House, which I actually didn't know that was obviously it's clearly an inspiration. The book ended with hints of more to come, but never materialized, and Straub passed away in 2022. And then King found an old email from his friend that included some tantalizing suggestions for another novel, partly inspired by, and here's the interesting side of things.
Okay.
Partly inspired by real-life teenage spree killer Charles Starkweather, who terrorized the Midwest in the late 1950s when Straub and King were both boys themselves. So, yeah, that's I've never heard of Charles Starkweather. But yeah, spree killer terrorizing the Midwest in the 50s.
11 people in Nebraska and Wyoming between November 57 and January 58 when he was 19 years old. He killed 10 of his victims between January 21st and 29th, 1958.
Okay.
The date of his arrest. I'm surprised he was taken alive.
Yeah, so Straub and King were both boys when that happened. King began writing a little over a year ago, calling it the Talisman 3 or T3 for short on social media. While they're no longer connected by the word processor, King said, quote, "So far as was possible, I wanted to collaborate with Peter. The seed was there, and I channeled Peter throughout it like crazy," is what he told Bresnikan through Esquire there. He also sought the blessing of Straub's family. Susan Straub gave me permission to go ahead and cheered me on along the way, King notes in his afterword to the book. So apparently he got, I don't know if Bresnikan's read the whole damn book or what, but he's got a quote here from the afterword of it. So that's interesting. Quote, "His wonderful children, Emma and Ben, also did as well." Bresnikan points out that the title is clearly linked to the Dark Tower series and recounts where the line comes from in the series. We obviously don't have to belabor that here. He points out that a few years after The Gunslinger was published for mass consumption in 1982, The Talisman came out in Black House. The narrative seemed to merge in Black House, that's where the Dark Tower and the territory started to seemingly merge. King said, "I wanted to go back to Midworld, which is always the territories by another name." King told them. So again, feel like he kind of repeats that line a bit, which is fine. Going on here, it also Bresnikan says it also felt like unfinished business to him. Quote, that the Talisman trilogy needed its final volume was a foregone conclusion because Black House ends with a cliffhanger. King says Jack, although healed in the territories, can only go back to America for a short period or he will sicken and die. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
So that adds a whole new wrinkle to, trying to save America from, this roaming band of infected teenagers. He then recaps the synopsis that I covered earlier and then says that to some readers, some of that may seem like a foreign language because it essentially is. He says as an explanation for those, he says an explanation for who or what gullet is, we'll have to wait until the fall. but a quartet is a group on a quest that's taken from the Dark Tower, because again, that's mentioned. So Gullet seems to be one of the bigger mysteries of this whole synopsis here. King said, quote, reading the Talisman and Black House will enrich other worlds than these, but it isn't necessary for your enjoyment of this tale of menace and adventure, he says. So then the article has the first excerpt. Of course, as tradition, we don't read them on the show. We'll leave that to each person to experience that for themselves. In fact, I don't think I've ever read an excerpt before a book was released. I don't think I ever have. I don't know about you, but
I have.
I don't tend to read them. I was very tempted here, though. I was very tempted.
If I remember right, the Harry Potters had.
Oh, King-wise, though.
Oh, King-wise.
We've talked about them over the years quite a bit, but again, we always kind of made it a thing where it's like we didn't necessarily want to read it. And
I don't think with King I ever did,
Yeah, and then so check the link in the show notes if you want to follow the link for this article. You could actually read that excerpt if you want. It's totally up to you. But yeah, pretty exciting. Very titillating for the Dark Tower side of things, of course. So
dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Me too. I think this might be the most excited I've been for a book. So you could look at the list now, because I did have that added, and I didn't know what you had or hadn't seen, so I didn't want you to go look, because I added that this morning before I was getting the final prep done. So that is number 78 on our extended list here, October 6th. And I can't remember the last time I was this over the moon excited. Like, maybe it was even before the show, to be honest. Before our podcast started, because like Doctor Sleep, I remember them announcing that it was a sequel to The Shining, so that was like pretty like, oh my fucking god, I can't believe that. But I feel like every other book that's come out, and every book that's come out in the time that we've been doing the show, I mean, I guess we kind of knew some of the Holly stuff. We had some precursor, but largely we go into these books blind. We didn't
know about Holly being in the Outsider.
Not in the Outsider.
That story of you texting me like, dude, you have to read this right now.
Yeah.
So
no, for sure. But like outside of like the Holly stuff, where like King would maybe tell us up front that like a book was a Holly tale. Beyond that, we haven't necessarily. A lot of times we kind of just don't know.
Well,
so
I think
the excitement here is just off the chart for me, because like, in the time we've done this show, there's not been this level of excitement, because it's like, it's Dark Tower, it is the third Talisman, which I do love those books. I think I'm thinking a reread is in order for both of them. So
I just finished the Talisman, so I got to do the Black House now.
Indeed.
The thing for me is that I never was big on New King after high school, because that's when I got into the Dark Tower, and that's when I got into Stephen King, was high school with you and everything.
Yeah.
You bamboozling me into it, tricking me into reading Stephen King so I'd read the Dark Tower.
Indeed.
But I never was big on like, well, what's coming out from him, because he had such a big catalog to go through. I had to go read Carrie. I had to go read Firestarter. I had to go read It. I had to go read The Stand. I had all these books to go read. So it's like, I remember when Under the Dome came out and you read it, and I was like, okay, I got other stuff I got to read.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was until The Institute would be my first time where it's like, we talked about the plot and like the synopsis beforehand. I think that's the first time.
Yeah, we did. And we did speculate quite a bit that it might be Dark Tower.
I think that's the first time for Stephen King where I was like paying attention to something that's coming out. And because like everything before that, which is the Hodges trilogy, The Outsider, all of that, we already talked about The Outsider. Wind Through the Keyhole, we were both excited for, because it was Dark Tower, but it was, adjacent, basically. It's not it's not Dark Tower 8 or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first time that I really was like invested in something new, was The Institute. And then ever since then, which was 2016, 2017? 2019.
Yeah.
So it's only been like 7 years that I've been really dialed into like, what's new with King? What's the plot?
Yeah.
What's the synopsis? So I can, do I read this right away? Do I wait a little bit? And it's just been, ever since then, it's been, Billy Summers came out, later came out. I read those within a month of them coming out.
Yeah, Fairy Tale.
I
think we
Holly.
Speculated a bit about Fairy Tale, maybe having some Dark Tower connections.
Yep.
So there's been some speculation, but this level of excitement has not been, in the time we've been doing this show, because it's just, this is like, I mean, also just doing some rough napkin math, this is 14 years removed from the last Dark Tower book, which is far and away the longest gap. Before that would have been, let's see, what was it? 2012 to 2014, right? Or I'm sorry,
2004.
or 2004. That's what I meant. Yeah,
2004 to 2012, so 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. So 14. Yeah. I think we mentioned it a couple years ago. I remember mentioning it where I'm like, there's kind of a almost like a max limit of time before King kind of gets that bug for the Dark Tower again. And I remember saying like, I think this is the end of the Dark Tower. It was funny because it was like only like a handful of months before King started tweeting and
announced,
shit.
Yeah.
Not even announcing because he did all that tweeting and stuff
Yeah.
where it was like, and then we were like getting our detective, getting the whatever the
little pipe.
What is his name? Sherlock Holmes pipe. Yeah, we were
It's
getting
elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah, we were getting that because like what the fuck. But I remember speculating that because I'm like, man, we have never gone this long without a Dark Tower book in the history of even the history of his career. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And quite the wait. So now jumping on over, we are going to go over and hit some one Dark Tower thing real quick. There was a article here, 13 excellent Groundhog's Day style time loops. So I don't know, just in celebration of when is Groundhog's Day?
We just had it.
Okay, so that's what it was for then. I was like, I didn't know if it was like an anniversary for the movie or if the real I don't know when Groundhog's Day is. Like
it's early February, and that Marmot decides if we have 6 more weeks of winter or not.
Are they marmots?
Yeah.
Groundhogs?
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that.
February 2nd is Groundhog Day.
Oh, so that's the date of the article. This is by Stubby the Rocket, is the name of the writer here, from Reactor Magazine on February 2nd, 2026. And of course, there's only one reason we're talking about this. One of his entries on here, written by someone else, it looks like, is the Dark Tower series by Stephen King.
Oh! Dude, I just blew my own mind.
What?
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you. The groundhog, Marmota monax, so obviously a marmot, also known as a woodchuck.
Oh, you know what?
Holy fuck! A groundhog is a woodchuck?
You said marmot.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sorry. I thought you, for some reason my mind filled that as marsupial.
No.
And I'm like,
like a koala?
Like a kangaroo. That's why I'm like, wait. So when I was saying it's a marmot, I was actually meaning is it a because I was like marsupial. Those two words crossed in my brain.
I get it.
Yeah.
I never knew what a woodchuck was until just now. Like Stephen King's Under the Dome.
Yeah.
Intersects a woodchuck. I didn't know what to picture because I've never looked up what a woodchuck is.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a fucking groundhog?
Why
do things have 7 names?
Who knows?
Like it's like a puma, a cougar, a mountain lion.
Isn't there a thing that like that animal has the most names of any animal ever?
Yeah, it's like
I think it has like 14 names across the world. Like that cat.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what the person writes about the Dark Tower series. Again, so they're selling this as like Groundhog Day style time loops. Though it took some time to reveal the truth, an entire series of books when all was said and done, the Dark Tower series is perhaps the greatest Groundhog's Day story arc of all time, or of all genre fiction. Though it's more like Groundhog Quest than a simple day repeating, the tale follows a gunslinger Roland on his journey to the Dark Tower and the people he brings with him, and often loses along the way. But after who knows how many cycles of this tale, Roland finally learns that he has reached the Dark Tower before many times, which I would say the only correction there is he finds it out every time, but then he shortly forgets it. So,
yep.
And then he keeps having to repeat the quest, presumably in order to get it right. At the end of the Dark Tower 7, Roland is sent back to the beginning yet again, but with something that he lacked in his previous journeys, the Horn of Eld. Stephen King himself has said that the Dark Tower film of 2017 was meant as Roland's final run to the tower. And true to the book series finale, Idris Elba's Roland had a Horn of Eld when he began his journey. With the end of the film, seeing Roland and Jake heading off on a brand new adventure, it would seem that the cycle is finally broken 35 years after the first book appeared on the shelves, and it says signed off by Emmett. So just kind of interesting because, again, I always love how people synopsize it. Also, like if somebody's never read the Dark Tower, you basically gave up the entire series with that. I mean, even putting it in this article, I'm like, yeah, you're kind of
spoiler alert.
Something. Yeah, so that's fun. Fun little thing there. All right, so now we've got Flanagan Corner. Of course, we had to put Dark Tower and Stephen King and new Stephen King book, especially a new Dark Tower Stephen King book above that. So
real fast before we dive into Flanagan Corner, you told me to mute Discord if I hadn't already, right? Yeah. I saw the cover for whoever posted it in Discord. I did not know that was an official cover. I thought it was a fan thing. I was working, so I just glanced at it and went, oh, that's kind of a cool little fan art kind of thing. Just put it back in my pocket. I had no idea that was an official announcement.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
That was breaking news for me.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Love it. Love it. All right. So now over to Flanagan Corner then. First up here, Stephen King's 2026 Carrie reboot gets an official release window. So
okay.
Nathan Johnson from the direct
this is a
on
series, not a movie.
Correct. Yeah, 8 episodes. February 16th, 2026. Another
on Prime?
Yes, Amazon. Yes. Another easy prediction we made is that Flanagan's Carrie is definitely coming out this year. Due to some comments from someone who would be in the know, is now all but confirmed. Genre legend Katie Sackhoff, who is in the adaptation, was at Fan Expo in Vancouver on Valentine's Day, and during her panel she said, quote, back to Mike Flanagan, yeah, the Flaniverse, October of 2026, Carrie comes out on Amazon. So,
okay.
She says you guys are in for a treat. It's very good. It's very good. She repeats herself.
Yes.
So, also, I am the 2%. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Katie Sackhoff. Have you seen the thing with her where she was interviewed about
No.
it was nerds in general? But she's like, yeah, X percent.
Oh, that's Bo-Katan.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I know exactly
also
what book you're talking
Starbucks.
about.
Starbuck from the Battlestar Galactica,
I've never seen a single thing of Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, yeah. And then she was also in Halloween Resurrection. So
She was in Resurrection?
Yeah. She actually sued the movie because she
yeah.
flashes with a bra on, and she didn't even want to do that, and they ended up using a double, so she ended up suing on it. So she was asked to reveal any other specific information. She said she couldn't do it, but she did say, quote, I mean, it's Carrie. There's fire, and there may be a little bit of blood. So
the humor.
Well done, Katie.
Well done.
Yeah, I'm just excited. You guys are gonna love it. Mike Flanagan is so good at what he does. Smart psychological horror. She also went on to say, quote, and he's very, very good at adapting Stephen King, and Stephen trusts him. So as you can tell in the press, Stephen's given him his entire library, and of course she's being facetious, but make it so, number one.
Make it so, number one.
Oh, we do have. I forgot we had that.
I noticed it when we were getting ready to record.
Yeah, I
have a theory. When you finish,
okay. She goes on and says he's like, you can do this one, you can do that one. How about this one? How about that one? So that's her quote there. And then like my last note here, as is standard for TV, there likely won't be a hard release date until probably September. But October is the window that it will be falling because they always like move things around to make sure they're not going to conflict with sporting events.
Other things,
anything that's going to stop. Yeah, other shows. But honestly, October seems like a no-brainer. The series is going to be 8 episodes long, so that could literally take up the entirety of spooky season. Also, if it were early October, if they wanted to take the entire month or a good chunk of the month, I guess no, to go into November either way. But
8 episodes would be 2 months.
That means we will have Other Worlds and These and Carrie coming out virtually at the same time.
It's going to be a busy time for us.
Yes, it will be very, very busy. But that's it for this. So,
okay. You ready to get your tinfoil hat out?
Yes.
You ready to join me on my Peter's Conspiracy Corner?
Yes. I hope the next thing that I have to announce or the next news article doesn't deflate you here in your theory. But go on.
I wonder if King and Flanagan had a little sit down. And Flanagan's like, "Hey, I'm ready to do the Dark Tower," and King goes, "Wait a couple years." And Flanagan goes, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, you see, I got this project in the work, and it's going to conclude the Dark Tower. So I don't want you to make something without a conclusion. So I want you to wait."
We actually talked about that in terms of like, would Flanagan's series potentially spark King to like write
something? But I wonder if it's the other way, where Flanagan is like, "Okay, I'm ready to do the Dark Tower. I got the rights. I'm ready to do it." And King goes, "You may want to hold off for a little bit."
But here's the thing: would Flanagan maybe have actually inspired him?
He could have
to merge Dark Tower into the territories.
He could have,
because remember some of those like quotes and stuff. Like, I kind of wanted to go back to Midworld, and then it just so happened that like he finds that Peter Straub email, and I just wonder if it all jives together and like kind of became one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, could Flanagan have been the reason that
it very well could
got
be?
Those juices flowing?
I could just see King and Flanagan sitting down, because what Sackhoff said really sparked me. Is King's like, "Hey, do you want to make this? Do you want to make this? Do you want to make this?" And I'm sure that Flanagan is going, "I want to make the Dark Tower." Now, why would King tell him to wait? Because he has an ending coming up. And what do we get with the Other Worlds and the synopsis?
Sounds like it's a
Sounds
wrap.
like it's a wrap,
Yeah.
right? So what if King told Flanagan 2 years ago, hey, go do other stuff. Hold off on that. I'm going to give you an ending. Then you can make it. What if after Otherworlds and these, you watch 2027 is the greenlit year where it starts getting made, where Dark Tower starts getting made because we have an ending? And what if Talisman gets roped in to the Dark Tower some way?
Suddenly we need a new season. Now it's 6 seasons instead
No,
of 5.
it very well
Or
could be.
what if
more?
What if he's already been told by King in some of
Yes.
the movies? Because remember when we were like lining up, like what did he say, 2 or 3 movies he would want to do too? And we're like, okay, so like maybe like the flashback stuff you could potentially do as a movie rather
Wizard
than
and Glass,
whatever
yeah.
instead of a
Yep, yep.
season. And then we talked about like maybe like Callahan could be but then it was like, okay, that's 2, but what's the third?
Talisman.
And so it's like now
What if it's this?
What if
Yeah.
Flanagan's known about this for a year or more?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What if King is like, dude, here's my plan. I'm going to write this. When I'm done with this, then you can make it because it's going to have the whole Dark Tower.
King has a plan.
King has a plan.
He has a plan.
I have a plan, Arthur. I'm telling you, until I hear from King otherwise or Flanagan otherwise, I'm kind of believing this because I don't think King would want Flanagan to make the same mistake that the Harry Potter movies made, where they started going down a road and then they had to pivot back in the next movie because the next book came out. That happened a couple times, and we'll talk about that on Geekery Abides, where it's like they started to go one way and then they had to completely pivot because whoops, the next book came out and completely disproved what the filmmakers were thinking was going to happen. So I wonder if King is stopping Flanagan from making the Dark Tower until he finishes the Dark Tower.
The only thing I would say that we've seen some quotes about is that King is kind of, even told Flanagan no on some projects. It's
Yeah.
like, no, you got the Dark Tower, man. You need to be working on that. Like the Life of Chuck almost didn't happen, right? But
Yeah.
then it's like a bunch of stuff. It was like the reset after the Netflix move. It was like, I've got some time. Can I
Yeah.
please do this and stuff? So it's like, that's the only thing I'd say that's working against you potentially is that like, I don't know if King is necessarily telling him to wait.
Well,
as much as,
that's a matter of timing when you look at it. Because like when the Life of Chuck was being made, that was 4 years ago. But I'm thinking in the last couple years, why haven't we seen more from the Dark Tower? He moved out from under Netflix, what, 5 years ago?
not that long, no. Because it was right about the time that we saw that we had the
No, because
announcement. 22.
he had to produce and make Life of Chuck and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's almost 5 years ago. 22 is 4 years ago, Ted.
Well, no, because you also had the House of Usher came out in 23 because he was working on that.
Was that?
So it hasn't been necessarily that long, but yeah, I don't know.
But I'm just saying that recently, within the last year or two, why have we got nothing from the Dark Tower?
Yeah,
Why? Because maybe someone, the highest order of someone, King himself, said, hold off.
yeah.
I got
mean,
something else coming down the pipe.
or unless he just gave him like a rough idea of what it was. And again, maybe like Flanagan when he was plotting his whole thing out went 5 seasons of TV and there'll be 3 like ancillary like movies.
Yeah.
And again, because when that was first told to us, we bashed our heads against the fucking wall trying to figure out what would the third one be.
Right.
It's like there's nothing like it unless we
Sisters of Eloria,
I think
maybe?
we
You know,
talked
yeah.
about Jericho Hill. Even it's like would King to basically tell him like here's what I want you to do for Jericho Hill.
Yeah.
To do that. But either way, it's just like I don't know. So yeah, maybe that's built in. But
I think the King told him-
hashtag Peter is hyped.
I am. I think the King told Flanagan to hold off at some point recently within the last 3 years and said, hold on. Give me a chance to write an ending. Give me a chance to finish it,
Yeah, and I think we even speculate on that sense of
Yeah.
like but I do still think that Flanagan's series has to end the way the books end. Then again, if it's like that last movie, then is like the whatever we get from this, like because I think the viewers have to get the same experience that we had as readers. I believe. I still truly believe
with
that.
the cycle starting over and everything.
Yeah, I think that would be one of the biggest robberies
What
to
if the
lose
cycle?
that. That's like not having the red wedding. Like if like
Yeah.
the show is just like that's too much. Let's just cut that part out. It's like
What if
no,
it's
that's
a
like
season finale, not a series finale?
I
Because
don't
it's a
know.
season finale, and then you go into season 7, and that's where Otherworlds and these and the other stuff is
yeah.
series finale.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, also Baraki said, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
If a woodchuck could chuck wood. Yeah.
That's a fun one. And then yeah, Peter's hyped.
I'm
here's
I'm convinced.
Here's the only downside is our next article.
Did you let me go just to have it disproven instantly?
No, but the roller coaster that sometimes happens on this show, you're on a high right now.
You're about to bring me low?
Yeah, I'm just going to read it before I even change the slide.
Oh, no.
Mike Flanagan and Stephen King back in business with the Mist movie for Warner Brothers.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yes, so Mike Fleming Jr. from Deadline, February 10th, 2026. Warner Brothers is reuniting with their frequent collaborators Mike Flanagan and Stephen King to readapt The Mist based on the 1980 novella. Flanagan will write and direct the film. Peter is despondent here.
Why?
I don't fucking know, man. I have been brewing over this for, what has it been now, 11 days?
Thank you, Baraki. He says the same thing I'm thinking. Do we really need another Mist, though?
No, and the thing is like, I feel like I've spent like the last whatever it's been since Carrie was announced basically defending like that. But like this one, I can't defend it. Like that, like you have one of the most perfect adaptations of all time already in, like, I know people
and even had a better ending than King wrote.
Yeah, and it's like Flanagan won't replicate that. There's no way he's going to take Darabont's ending. So it's like, I feel like this is okay. I'll preface this by saying I do trust Flanagan, and I think Flanagan will make something great out of this. But this is the biggest who the fuck is asking for this that I've seen.
Yeah, what?
Again,
that's my question. Why?
Everyone piled on Carrie about that, and again, I was like, you know, and then like the backstory of Flanagan saying he kind of had a take on it, that whatever, and even King said, "Nah, leave Carrie alone," and then he told him his take, and he's like, "Okay, no, that's actually cool. Like, run with it." So it's like, I feel like again, I'm staying hopeful and optimistic on that one, but this, I just. What's the fucking point, man? Frank Darabont's three things in my mind. I mean, I know there was already another, because that's the other thing too, is there's a second adaptation of The Mist already. That fucking sentient Mist fucking TV show.
Don't you dare talk about that.
So,
God, that's an abomination.
So, like, I again, it's Flanagan, so I know this is going to be great. It's kind of like The Exorcist. As a horror fan, I was happy to hear about The Exorcist because it's like, I want the Dark Tower and I want it now. But at the same time, like Flanagan doing The Exorcist is fucking insanely cool. And in the same sense, like I bet you this will be good. But it's the other thing too is like Darabont's outside of the ending, like and like him not fucking the lady at the at the store, not knowing his wife is still waiting for him for all he knows. Like those are like the two main things. Other than that, like there's like whole stretches of dialogue that are exactly like it's as faithful to the story as like Life of Chuck is, for God's sake. So there's just part of me that's like, what does Flanagan have to stand on with this? I don't get it. I don't. Now I will say on the positive side, this does feel like a story that feels like it's almost made for Flanagan. In a sense of like, think of the stuff that Flanagan's done, like the isolation, like the stuff going on, like the Flanagan family. Like I can see where this can probably be good, but like, yeah,
here's the only way that this is gonna be anywhere worthwhile for me is if they give me more from a different perspective. Don't give me the grocery store. Don't give me the characters that we already know. No Miss Carmody, none of that. Give me Project Arrowhead. Give me what happens at the military installation. Give me the military's response to the Mist and how they roll it out and everything like that. That would be fine. Give me someone else
but I just don't
in the area dealing with the Mist. That's fine.
Yeah,
I
just don't know.
It's not necessary. No, you're 100% right.
But would Flanagan do that, though? Flanagan's always been so much about fidelity to the source material.
Yeah.
Like, if it were another filmmaker, I think I would probably be like, that's even what they're doing. But with Flanagan,
I'm looking for a silver lining here because I don't understand how you remake the Mist. Like,
it
just doesn't. There's no reason to.
I mean, again, even from my pedantic nature, it's not even remaking it. It's just readapting it. But it's like, why readapt it? It's like outside of like changing the ending to a lesser ending, in my opinion. I know there's some book fans that still bitch that Darabont's ending is not as good as King's and stuff. Like, I vehemently disagree with those people. But it's just like literally that's almost all you can change about it. Other than I don't get this. I really don't. And like the fact that this would theoretically be delaying the Dark Tower even further. I don't I don't get it.
Captain Daberman in the chat says, sure, the creatures may be phenomenal, but other than that, why? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Baraki has to troll me and says, next year a new Tommyknockers adaptation. Don't. You say that 3 times, it's like Bloody Mary. It'll appear.
It'll
Don't do that.
happen.
Don't do that.
So now here's the other thing I'm going to say. I'm blanking on her name, Sloane, of the Flanagan family.
Okay.
Cannot be Mrs. Carmody.
No.
That would be too fucking obvious, and I won't accept it. I just there's no way, right? Because she basically played a similar role in the that would just be typecasting, and I think it'd be completely disrespectful to her, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I know Flanagan has his people, and he may even want that, and I know there's already been fan people online like fan casting that, but I'm like, that is so obvious that would be fucking terrible in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you use your wife as Mrs. Carmody?
Yeah.
Like that would be more,
Gender swapping and make it a guy.
something.
Something.
That would be tough, but yeah.
Something.
So yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't get this.
I don't either.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Carrie. I'm on board for Carrie, but
I'm
Flanagan. It's like in Flanagan we trust and everything, but this just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
I don't understand. There's a reason we haven't remade the Shawshank Redemption and the Green Mile. There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason. Those haven't been touched.
And there's some people that would disrespect this and say that like they always talk about Darabont 2, but it's like I've vehemently on this show for years have said no, there's the Darabont 3. All 3 of them are the same fucking level to me.
Yeah.
And they're so yeah, you're on untouchable ground. There's literally nothing you can do to improve upon it. I do think Flanagan, this is his brand, so I do think that he'll do something good with this, but I just wonder if it's going to really justify its existence. And I could eat these words. Fast forward however long when this movie comes out, I'll go see it 100%.
Yeah.
But it's like I could eat these words, but there's part of me that's like, what is the fucking point here?
I think the biggest part is that we're just so frustrated that it's not the Dark Tower. I mean,
that is true, and will accept that. But I will say, Dark Tower completely aside, Flanagan has never touched the Dark Tower, and there's nothing. He's not. I would still say the same thing in the sense of my defense of the Darabont film would have me acting this way. Yes, there's an added element of the Dark Tower thing, adds some anger to me where it's like, what the fuck are we doing? And this better not be coming before it, which it probably will. But it's like, all of that aside, I still think it's that element of like, what the hell what is Darabont's movie lacking? What is it?
I don't know. Even the CGI holds up.
Yeah,
that's the thing, is even the CGI looks great.
And that's probably the most dated, or that's probably and it is somewhat dated, but I don't think it's bad. But I do think, like the tentacle is probably a little bit rougher than what it would be in the modern day. But when you're talking like the walking mountain,
maybe I don't know. Some of this modern CGI is shit, dude.
No, that's fair.
But I've seen modern CGI that looks worse than Jurassic Park. So
but
that is the pinnacle.
There's a lot of CG that can't live up to Jurassic Park. But
Baraki makes a point. I mean, Flanagan isn't a young man either. How old is Mike Flanagan?
I think he's probably 50.
He's only 47.
No, so he's pushing 50. But yeah. So I don't know, man. I try to be the optimist, but this one's tough for me, man. On multiple levels. Because again, from the perspective of I don't want the Dark Tower to be delayed any further, but then on top of it, it's just like, what are you doing? Because again, the biggest thing that you could change is the ending, and it's like, could you change that for the better? And in my opinion, you can't. Like I've been one of the biggest advocates for that ending on this show for the entirety of the 10 years we've done this show. So yeah, I don't get it, man. I just whatever.
Right.
Flanagan, he's gonna make a great product out of it. He will.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
This I'm disappointed, and my day is ruined.
And I almost warned you at the top of the show that this might be a roller coaster of a show for you a little bit. And then like as hyped up as you were, that's why I had that coy smile when we were going on.
You couldn't be like, hang on, you're gonna want to hang on to that.
Because
you had to bring me down.
It didn't largely change like your overall thought. But
no, it didn't. No, my theory still holds.
Yeah, no, for sure. But your exuberance, your happiness, I just like was sitting there and I could just see you. You're just the guy on the gallows that doesn't know he has the noose.
Baraki says in the chat, Tad, ... You're terrible. Yeah, you knew I was all excited and you had to come slamming me down.
Right before you said I have a theory, I said, okay, but I might
Yeah.
have some water to throw on it here on the next article. I said that, so
It didn't. It
it
no.
didn't. But like,
no, my theory is something different. Yeah. Captain Daverman says there's no way he does anything other than the written ending. Yeah, I don't.
and there's no point.
I'm worried.
I mean,
I'm also worried. What if he tries too hard? What if he tries too hard to come up with something original himself and just botches the ending? You know, it's possible. I trust Flanagan, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just like.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Hashtag Tad is trollific.
Now, here's the thing. I want to defend myself here because I did stage this show in a certain way.
You son of a bitch.
That's all I'm saying. So let me go over. Big board first. Got the Mist on there now. It's an upcoming movie. So, also, another thing that came up in my mind as I was doing this, should I put the Institute back on there because season 2 is coming, or is that just more of a no? It doesn't matter because it's just a season 2 of an already existing show.
I don't think we've ever done season 2s.
Yeah, I don't think we have either. So,
the fuck is the Tommy Knockers doing on there?
That's been on there for.
Is that being
while.
made?
Allegedly. I
Oh
mean,
God.
is that the one that was? Yeah, that was mentioned earlier. I don't remember when that happened or when we added that to the list, but that was added real time on Tommy Knockers. Let's see if I can round table. There's too many of them that we mention it. Yeah, I couldn't know off the top of my head when that was added, but okay, but big board aside.
Rocky, I swear to God, I'm gonna time him out. I can time people out.
So here's where I'm the good guy.
Yeah, sure.
Get my halo on here.
Oh my God.
So this other one came before that last one. So let me just tell you, I am doing this to try to buoy your spirits as it goes. So this one is titled Stephen King's reaction to Mike Flanagan's finished Dark Tower Season 1 scripts revealed.
Yay.
So it sounds like Season 1 is complete.
Yay.
And it sounds like King has read them.
Yay.
So this from Autumn Hawkins from Screen Rant on February 8th, 2026. After the last announcement, this is some good silver lining at least. Flanagan goes on Doof Media on YouTube. I'll have the link in the show notes. And he talked about the scripts for The Dark Tower and said, quote, the scripts for the first season are wonderful. I'm so happy with them. Stephen King is happy with them. He's been through it with his adaptations. He'll tell you if he's not too pleased, which, yeah, that's got to be and we've talked about the anxiety of a lot of filmmakers over the years where they're like, God, I hope he likes it.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that even Flanagan, even though he has a good track record now, still doesn't have that whatever. And this one means more to him than most others. So the pressure is huge. So sounds like season 1 is in the books when it comes to being written. So that's pretty cool. We know he's been writing it, but to know that he's basically finished, that means that any work he's doing now is writing season 2. So it's like, I don't know, like that's not a bad thing because like if nothing else, maybe we can actually get it to where when it actually gets going and gets greenlit and goes whatever, maybe we're talking about a year between each show and not fucking 5 or whatever goddamn
not
years.
Stranger Things.
We're not going to end up with a 30-year-old Jake at the end of the 30-year-old Jake getting hit by a van.
I think
suddenly
I think this is just another not trying to be a Debbie Downer because that news of the Mist is just
I know, man.
pissing me off.
I've been struggling with it for like I said 11 days since that came out, so.
I'm honestly trying not to be pissed off, but it's not working. But this is just another mark in my book for my theory is that why is Flanagan showing King season 1 if he's not? I mean, he should be making it, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't he making it? I really think King told him, hold off.
Remember also my theory was Carrie's a prove it thing. And so Amazon's like, we already greenlit 1. We filmed a pilot. We didn't like what it was, so we didn't go forward with it. But that was much closer to the film that didn't do great box office wise. So it's like Amazon's already seemed to show like an interest in this, but I don't think they like Mazzara's attempt. They didn't like what they had there.
But it was also a different head of studio and everything as well.
It was, right. but I just kind of wonder if Carrie's kind of the prove it thing where it's like, we have this new deal with Flanagan.
Yeah.
He's yet to do anything with us yet. Like do this, prove King, whatever. Now, I don't even necessarily fully believe this, but we do know that Flanagan's talked about all the legal rights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Could the Mist adaptation, could this be a thing where this is a favor he's doing for Warner Brothers? to get a bunch of, because we know a bunch of rights that
Yeah.
or will be needed are Warner Brothers. Ted Brodigan, everything when it comes to The Shining,
Father Callahan.
like the Warner Brothers owns a lot of shit. And we've even mentioned on the optimistic side, Flanagan's worked with Warner Brothers multiple times. He's got good relationships there. Hopefully that'll help him get some of these things. Could this be a thing that isn't even necessarily full on Flanagan's idea, but it's like Warner Brothers says,
Scratch my back, I'll scratch your back.
yeah, we'll give you unlimited access to whatever, intellectual property you need. Could that include Harry Potter? That's Warner Brothers, isn't it?
Snitches, yeah.
So now Disney, on the other hand, especially with Doctor Doom actually entering the MCU and stuff, like
Not a chance.
I don't think we're
Not
gonna,
a chance.
I think they will still have green cloaks, and I do still think they'll be metallic and stuff, but I don't think there will be any overt mention of Doctor Doom, like Eddie going, "Hey, that reminds me of Doctor Doom." That's not in the cards. But lightsabers probably also not in the cards.
Yeah.
Although, no, because that was during Lucas's era. I was about to say Lucas is always pretty free with things, so like Spaceballs and everything else. Like there's been a number of like spoofs of lightsabers over the years, but Lucas is very open to that shit. I don't know if Disney will be, but I think you can get away with just
Disney's got their assassins ready.
Yes, exactly. So again, I'm not even saying I fully believe it, but I'm just saying what if. Because it is Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
and I can't imagine Flanagan looks at this. Like Flanagan pitched Carrie, right? He's like, I've got an idea on this. Amazon pitched it to him. His first thought was no, but then some kind of idea hit him. And that was enough to where he's like, I love this idea. And he pitches it to King. King's like, no, leave her alone, man. And he's like, well, wait, let me tell you
What
my
about
idea.
this?
And then that, whatever. I don't picture this being a thing that Flanagan. So I'm wondering if did Warner Brothers just basically say like, if you do this for us, we'll hook you up with some
Flanagan
rights.
goes to them and says, "Hey, how do I get the rights to A, B, C, D, and E?" And they go, "We'll make us a movie." And he goes, "What do you have in mind?" And they go, "We have the rights to this,
Yeah.
and we don't want it reverting back to someone, so we need to make something. So go make us this, and we'll give you that."
Yeah.
And Flanagan went, "I really want that, so I'll make that."
Yeah. And again, I'm interested in
I can see it.
Who knows? But yeah, but either way, season 1 of The Dark Tower is written, which is really cool because there's a lot of shows that end up, they'll write a couple scripts and then like as the show starts, like they're still writing as they're going.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that the entirety of season 1 is written and in the bag. Like,
Yeah, and you can feel it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, you can feel it with the show. Sometimes it's like, well, you gotta watch like 5 episodes before it really gets its traction and really gets going. Or
Yeah.
you gotta wait until season 2 because then they have season 1 in the bag and they can start writing. And they're like, okay, well, with season 2, we're not gonna make the same mistakes we made with season 1. Let's go here.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah. It's a bit of a roller coaster. I mean, maybe not as much of an up as that
Not
first
nearly
stuff,
as much.
but it's at least not another down.
It's not. It's not saying, hey, we got to watch the Tommy Knockers trailer.
I can't wait for that day.
Freaking Baraki with that.
I can't wait for that day.
I'm not watching it.
And the fact that you completely forgot about that being on our big board, because again, everything on the big board is stuff that we have added actively. So it's like every one of those is something. Now, again, some of that shit was before COVID, so who knows? I mean, the Rat had, reverted and got sold to somebody else and stayed on the thing before we ever knew that the Ben Stiller one wasn't a thing anymore. So who knows? It could be dead in the water for all we know. So, all right, next up, we're moving over to the town of Derry. So the question is, where the fuck is Welcome to Derry season 2? And we've been asking that question on here. I've been asking you in person, like, what the fuck is going on here?
Has it not been greenlit?
No.
Why?
Yeah. So, and this headline is, quote, "I would happily do it," HBO boss Casey Bloys says. So this is from Nelly Andriva from Deadline on January 30th, 2026. So it starts off by saying Welcome to Derry was a rating standout for HBO with 6.5 million U.S. viewers across HBO and HBO Max in the first 3 days for the finale as of mid-December. And I don't know if you know, but in the modern day, that's kind of what their barometer is they do is the first 3 days. So that's the way they track streaming to kind of replicate what ratings would be. So in the old days, ratings were just there was a time that something aired and that was just the number, right? So the whole industry's come up with is within the first 3 streaming something within the first 3 days is largely considered what like the rating would be in the old days if you didn't know that.
Okay.
So
I did not.
and as of mid-December, it has averaged 20 million viewers globally, and it's the third biggest debut show, which means no multiple seasons, but the first season. It's the third biggest debut show for HBO Max behind only The Last of Us and House of the Dragon. So
Ooh.
I knew it was big. I didn't know it was that big. So I should probably know from all the memes that it was a lot bigger than I may have given it credit for. The article points out that despite that, we're over 2 months later now, or we're over a month later. And in parentheses, I put 2 months as of our recording. And there is still no renewal for the second season yet. Deadline asked Casey Bloys, the head of HBO, and he said, quote, let me say, not in limbo at all. Hardly. It was a huge success for us, he said. Andy and Barbara are hard at work trying to come up with an idea for the story that they want to tell for another season. I would happily do it. One of the challenges is that there's not a book that you're basing it on, so it's it's invention. I think kinda, because like a lot of the events that the events are mentioned, but of course we saw with season 1, there's a lot of invention happening still because
There's
it's like
a lot of liberties being taken and new things being decided.
Yeah.
And everything. So I get what he's saying, but I'm kind of perplexed. I thought they had this already like planned out for like 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, and so and it goes on and says they want to make sure that they have the story they're excited to tell. So it's not in limbo, other than they need to land on something that they're excited by creatively, and will be there. So it sounds like there is effectively a green light. It's just whatever. So that's a relief. It sounds like the Machetes are the holdup right now, not HBO. I will say that's very backwards. Usually they would just green light it and then give them whatever runway they need to actually do whatever. Now I do think largely they probably know what, like, I think the Bradley gang, whatever it might be. I think, and they already know like the times, right? We're jumping back to like it's the teens, I think, is where. So we went from the 60s to the teens, and then it's to like 1905 or whatever. Like they've already told us kind of roughly what each season would be, and it's working backwards. But I kind of wonder if they're just wanting to flesh things out. But it's very perplexing to me that like it almost sounds like HBO almost wants to give them a green light, but the Machetes are the holdup right now.
Well, why wouldn't they just green light it and let them figure it out?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, Captain Daverman in the chat says, I don't know, my BS meter is going off. I'm the same. Like,
but there's no way HBO is going to say no.
You've greenlit stuff before without having a script. You've greenlit stuff before, like House of the Dragon isn't, finished.
I wonder if what it is if they want to see the actual script or like the overall rundown of what season 2 is, and the Machetes don't have that yet. So I really wonder if the green light is being held off, because we also know that, The Outsider went from a limited series to a series to we're not renewing for a second season
because
they weren't happy with what was being sold to them. So my BS meter as well. I do kind of think that likely what's happening here is they want to get a little bit more tangible stuff before they truly give the green light. And I don't think the Machetes are done yet, but I think he is kind of just fudging this a little bit because it's all backwards. If we took him at his word, it's 100% backwards. Usually you don't make stuff because essentially that'd mean whatever work the Machetes are doing right now, they're doing it for free.
Oh, I wonder if the Machetes are because they said this in interviews that they have 3 stories.
Yeah.
3 seasons worth ready to go.
Yeah.
I wonder if they brought season 2 to HBO and HBO went, we don't like A, B, and C. Go fix that.
Or they just have
And so the Machetes are fixing that and changing a little bit.
Or they have like the bones of like, hey, they knew the timelines, they knew probably the big event, like the black spot.
But HBO wants a little bit more meat on it.
Yeah, they actually want to know, okay, because we just like the black spot. If I would have just told you season 1's the black spot, does that truly tell you anything about what that season of television was?
I haven't read
but even if you had, what that show actually turned out to be, that wouldn't have told you a fraction of what that season of television was. So maybe HBO just wants more of like, okay, the Bradley gang in the 19 teens or whatever the fuck it was, whatever date it is, I'm blanking. I don't think it's the teens. I think that's too close to the third season.
It's the 20s. Is
it the 20s? So yeah, I'm wondering if they just want a little bit more where they're like, give us more of a rough idea. Who are our characters? What's the overall so yeah, I do think there's a little bit of bullshit going on here because like, again, the other part of it is like from the perspective of like, without a green light, technically the Machetes, any work they're doing now on season 2, they're doing for free. Yeah. HBO's not paying them. Now, retroactively, HBO is going to pay them for season 2. But if whatever writing they do, it's called spec writing, which is speculation writing, which means you're writing it without being paid for it. And then you're hoping that someone buys it after the fact. It's like, on consignment type stuff. And so, again, yeah, I'm not fully buying everything here. And also, I think there's a couple mistakes because, like, he's saying there's no book. It's like, no, there is, though. Like, yeah they got to flesh out a bunch of stuff around it. But, like, there's foundations of what's going on here.
Mhm.
So interesting. I mean, it's at least encouraging the fact that we're not, because it was starting to get kind of suspicious to me where it's like, why are we not seeing a green light yet? Like I didn't know the numbers until this article, but like I
Global phenomenon.
knew it was big,
Yeah.
right? I knew it was big enough to that HBO had to have been making some money off of it. So yeah, we know there's a plan for 3 seasons, so I'm assuming they just want to get a lot more of it developed on the second season idea before HBO hits the green light renewals. That's my assumption. So and then let's go ahead and jump on over to more Derry talk. Stephen King says there's one book they'll never write a sequel for, and I don't know if we've ever talked about this before, but Virginia Chamley from People on January 28, 2026. So the article starts by saying that with the massive success of Welcome to Derry, audiences might be hungry for more Pennywise, but don't expect it from King. And this article throws back to a Reddit AMA back in 2020 or 2013, so way back in the fucking day.
Wow.
When King was asked about potentially doing an It sequel, and he said, quote, "I don't think I could ever deal with Pennywise again. Too scary even for me." So I don't know if I don't remember ever hearing that. So, I mean, I was never counting on another It book anyway.
Yeah.
Again, I know King's been doing a lot of sequels in the last 20 years but before that he had never done a sequel. But even like The Stand had that book that was written by a bunch of different authors, but it's like,
Yeah.
I just don't think King's general rule is sequels. So this doesn't surprise me by any means, but I figured it was kind of worth mentioning. I'd also mentioned something I'd never heard. Apparently Tim Curry was scared of clowns.
Really?
I did not know that. And it was,
He like looks in a mirror. Ah!
speaking of which, and he said in an interview though, quote, "Not quite to the extent that I literally couldn't look at myself in the mirror as often been reported, but I certainly didn't delight in my reflection." So I did not know that.
I didn't either.
So the man that scarred more people of clowns than any living person on the planet
Was one himself.
was scared of clowns himself. What is it? Cloudphobia?
Clonophobia?
Some weird ass word. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Let's
Fear of clowns.
text your wife. Hey, what's your affliction called?
Colorophobia. COULRO phobia.
Yeah, because it almost seems like it's a fear of color.
Colorophobia.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, next.
Affecting approximately 5% of adults.
That's a lot.
That seems low.
No, that's a
That
lot,
seems
man.
Low.
That's a lot.
5% of all adults.
That 5% of all adults, dude. That's a massive number. That is a massive number. All right. Oops. Sorry. I'm flashing everyone with a number of screen jumps there. I accidentally pushed my pedal
400
twice.
million individuals. That's not even a billion.
Of course.
That's low.
No.
There are way more people scared of clowns than that.
Dude, think about the amount of people that live in areas where fear is much greater than invented things like that.
Yeah.
Where people are fearing about, can they feed their children every day, or is there, that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's billions of people in those
Way to make me
realms.
feel like a piece of shit, Tad. Thanks.
So next up, Stephen King's The Institute Season 2 has started production. So this is by Alex DiVincenzo from Bloody Disgusting on February 2nd, 2026. So production is commenced on Season 2 of The Institute, with writer Ben Cavill and director Jack Bender returning to the project for MGM+. And they've also confirmed it will be airing this year. So we are getting Season 2 this year.
All right.
The principal cast is set to return. I've not finished it yet. I know you have, so I guess you kind of know what that means more than me. And they'll be joined by new castmates. Quote, "Set free but hunted, new dangers await the escapees from the Institute, and I can't wait," King previously teased.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. And then speaking of which, on the other hand, we've got a casting addition. Alfie Allen has joined the Institute for Season 2 at MGM+. This is by Denise Petsky from Deadline on February 4th, 2026. The Tony and Emmy-nominated actor Alfie Allen has joined the cast of the Institute. He'll be playing Nolan Reeves, an eccentric European tech billionaire and one of the Institute's financial backers with an ambitious agenda all of his own.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that's
expanding on the novel, because we never got anything like that.
no, we never really got a whole lot about
The financial backers or who's in charge. We always just thought it was the U.S. government.
yeah, I thought it was even almost larger, like maybe it was tied to multiple governments and stuff. But
yeah. Like
you
a
know-
secret organization, like the Illuminati kind of thing.
yeah, that's what it always felt like to me. But then again, that this isn't even saying it's not that, right?
No, yeah, because he's an eccentric billionaire.
Yeah.
And eccentric billionaires, they like their cults.
Yes, indeed. No comment.
Secret groups, cults. whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, crusty jugglers.
All of a sudden, I just disappear.
Yeah. So I
No,
think
I'm talking about fictitious ones, not real ones.
yeah, I've seen Eyes Wide Shut. So I do want to finish the first season for sure. I might have to just like dive in and just hit an episode because the problem is it forgot my fucking progress on the goddamn show.
Oh.
That's what actually killed me more than anything. So, yeah.
Let's hope he keeps all his parts in this role.
Did he get dismembered in John Wick as well?
I think so.
I know he's like the target, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming things didn't go well for him. But I
No.
wonder if he lost any appendages or anything.
No, I think he just got killed.
Deserved.
I mean, yeah, he killed a dog.
Yeah.
Not just any dog. John Wick's dog.
Yes, indeed. All right. So you still seem like you're down a little bit here.
I am a little bit. What the fuck are we doing the mist for? Like, god damn it, dude.
Oh shit, so funny. All right. So next up, we've got let me just get the right one here. We actually talked about this earlier. Stephen King's The Body is getting a new release with a familiar voice. So you were just saying earlier that you don't really remember this story much.
Yeah.
I didn't actually say anything, or maybe I said a little bit more about The Body later or something like that. But yeah, so this is by Jeffrey A. Trachtenberg from the Wall Street Journal on February 2nd, 2026. So nearly 40 years after Rob Reiner's classic Stand By Me hit theaters, fans will be treated to a new audiobook of the novella that inspired the movie, which is Stephen King's The Body. So yeah, we're getting now. Yeah, we'll have some comments on this, but actor Whil Wheaton will be narrating.
Whil Wheaton!
Will
That's cool.
who played Gordy LaChance in the movie, will be narrating
Okay.
the audiobook. So the audiobook is planned for March release, so next month, by Simon & Schuster Audio. It mentioned that with the ever-growing popularity of audiobooks and the publishers always looking for new revenue streams, this seems like a logical one. And then I put in parentheses, can they remaster Insomnia without the fucking music, please?
Yeah, no kidding.
Please. I will rebuy it.
Yeah.
If you just went like, hey, we got Eli, I just blanked on his last name, but the guy from Good, Bad, and the Ugly and Godfather 3. If you just said like, hey, we got his recording still, we got the masters, we remastered it like a Beatles album, we just removed all the music and we're going to re-release it, whole new credit, I will spend that credit happily.
Yeah.
100%.
Same. Because it's the most Dark Tower adjacent book, but I can't fucking listen to it.
Can't listen to it. No.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and then it, like if you do though, you seem like a beat dog. Like every second, you're just waiting for like a fucking musical cue to come in, and you're just like quivering.
Yeah, you're like driving down the road looking like you're in pain, like someone's drilling into your teeth.
And it hasn't even hit yet. You're just waiting for it to hit because you're
the
just bracing.
anticipation's worse.
Yeah, it's worse than the actual thing. So this was previously it was an audiobook version in different seasons, of course, and it was actually narrated by Frank Muller.
Oh,
So if you don't remember that. So King is hilarious. He takes a slight jab at the publishers and said, quote, of course, for the publishers, it's a win. Divide out what was 1/4 of a book and sell it all over again.
Yeah.
So King, I love King so much.
He's so funny.
I just, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, cool. So you're just going to charge a full credit. Because they've been doing that in the physical realm for a long time now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but
Yes.
like they're just publishing like The Mist,
The
as
last
a
time I
standalone.
went into Barnes and Noble, my daughter was looking for something. I can't remember what it was. And of course, if I'm in a Barnes and Noble, I'm going to the
That's
King.
right where you go.
That's where I go. I didn't even have to ask. I knew where to go. Like,
Yeah.
like it was like my Kingdar was just like ding,
Yeah.
ding,
Yeah.
oi. And I was
Indeed.
like, oh, there, it's that way.
Flag? Where is he?
No,
Bring me to him.
no. But I went over there and I think they had
There's been a few they've done. I'm trying
they
to
had
think
the
of some.
body, they had the mist, and then they had one other one, and I cannot remember which one it was. But it was it was the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
one, yeah, like the popular movie adaptation ones. Where
Yeah.
it's like, well, I don't want to buy the short story collection with all these other things. I want, I saw the movie. I want that one.
what a damn shame though, because different seasons.
So good.
4 out of 4, man. All
Oh,
4
yeah.
stories there are incredible.
Yeah.
And I still hope for the day that the breathing method gets adapted. I think that's on our list because I think
Yeah.
that's been talked about recently in the last couple of years. But like that'd be a wild one.
Yeah.
But like wouldn't it be fucking cool?
It would be.
Wouldn't it be fucking cool? All right. So going on here, Whil Wheaton said that he actually wanted to do this project for years, and was actually just offered the job 5 months ago. Quote, "I said yes so fast you could see the words leaving my mouth," he said. So it sounds like this has been a dream project for him for a while. It then points out that through November, audiobooks. Through November of 2025, audiobooks crested $1 billion.
Wow.
I knew
$1 billion
that.
company.
Yeah, I knew that audiobooks are big, but I never would have guessed it was actually a $billion industry. So
That's what I meant.
yeah, that's wild. I never would have guessed audiobooks were that big a business. I knew they were big, right? You know, Audible's pretty ubiquitous at this point.
Yep.
There's other companies that have kind of gotten into the business model and stuff,
Mhm.
but like,
Apple sells audiobooks, don't they?
yeah, Apple, like that. That's
Google,
where like,
Google does.
yeah, because that's where I ended up. Because back in the day, before I got into Audible, that's where I bought like. Was it that you got really upset that I found out that I didn't have in my collection? But I'm like, I know I've listened to this damn book. And it was like that. And there's a couple other ones that I had bought back in the day for Apple. I don't even know if I still have an account that has them or not. But yeah, that's where it was just like, dude, I know I've listened to some of these books, and it was one of them. And it made you all mad because that means that it's been at least 13 years since I would have listened to. I mean, I just did a few years ago.
You're gonna do it again this year.
Yeah.
For our hangout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
on Patreon, patreon.com/DarkTowerPalaver.
Indeed. So you got a little bit of a little bit more of your attitude there. You're not still.
Oh, I'm pissed.
You're not.
I'm just hiding it.
You're not sulking entirely.
I'm so mad
because we've definitely seen you throw temper tantrums. Well, not temper tantrums. But we've seen you sulk quite poorly
You
over
can
the
call
years.
it pouting. It's okay.
Yeah.
I pouted.
All right, so let's move on over to odds and ends. Let's see. The first one here, and this one I find delicious. 11/22/63 hit Netflix.
Yeah.
It has dethroned Stranger Things. It actually topped Stranger Things. And what a statement, man.
Yeah.
I just love. I love everything about that, because I mean it's not the best adaptation by any means, but it's not terrible.
No.
And I do love whenever something that was a little bit more whatever, gets a bigger platform. Like Mr. Mercedes, I remember that being a big one too when they finally moved that from whatever fucking god awful thing it was on and put it on Peacock.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is just hilarious though, because it's like you would have expected Stranger Things to hold that top title for a little while, at least 3 or 4 months, but nope.
K-pop Demon Hunters held it for a lot longer.
2011 book. It was I don't remember when the adaptation was, but that's an older adaptation relatively, and that dethroned Stranger Things, so that's kind of fun. And then next up on odds and ends, we've got The Long Walk is apparently fucking destroying it on premium video on demand.
Nice.
It has consistently remained in the top 10 since becoming available, which has been at least a month or so. So yeah, it is pulling down some serious coin on there. I don't know when it's actually going to hit streaming. With the money it's making now, they're probably going to wait as long as they possibly can till it hits
I bet you they
service.
already have a deal in place.
Yeah, they're just like wanting to let it breathe as much as they can. Like, let's let people keep paying $20 to rent it.
It's on Stars.
So that's premium though. That doesn't count. Like the high end shit like that, because Stars is not really tied to any streaming service like directly. Like I think it's like an add on to Paramount. I think it's a place where you can add Stars onto your.
You can add it on Hulu too.
Well, I mean, like Stars is the actual company, so it's like there's like a tab for Stars on it.
Okay.
You just have to pay extra to get to it. So, and then we've got Uncle Stevie recommends. He actually hasn't done a lot of recommending. I only found one thing. Going back to the last thing that we read from him. So it was on Blue Sky. He said, sometimes fiction tells the truth that facts cannot. It was true of Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath. It's true of Lawrence Wright's heartfelt novel of the day. Novel of the day leading up to the Hamas attacks on Israel in 2023. The Human Scale is suspenseful, hard to put down, and even harder to forget. So, book recommendation from old Cy King there. That is it. We have let's see. We started a little early, so we're actually kind of technically going to be ending early because I didn't know if we were actually going to carry a little bit longer. So that's why I wanted to start a little early.
Carrie?
Carry further on.
Oh.
With a Y, not an IE.
Oh.
No pig's blood here.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But yeah.
Fire?
There's a couple other articles that I almost threw on, but I don't know if we'd have time to necessarily go through them, so I'm actually saving them for next time.
Okay.
there's some interesting ones for sure.
I don't like when you say interesting because I think of things like The Mist.
Sentient Mist.
No.
Let's just talk the next 15 minutes about Sentient Mist. No. Oh man, I also
That's going to be a lot of talking from you, Ted. Because no.
Maybe we'll do that as a hangout one of these times.
Oh my god. You know what? Honestly, we could just to see how bad it is. You know, I have a podcast that I listen to. They do a
Dude,
movie.
hate watching is a real thing.
They do a movie club and they watch bad horror movies just to have fun. And I'm like, damn, that's not a bad idea. Like, watch The Langoliers and then talk about just how bad it is and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a bad idea. Just to
Yeah.
like kind of make fun of it, spoofing
Yeah.
Mystery Science Theater 3000, the shit out of it.
Yeah, no, I know there's like the new movie that just came out, Psycho Killers, is the new like it's like 7-ish. I want to say it's maybe the writer of 7 or something, but like it's got like a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes and like a 20-something% like audience score, so it's like dismal, like just dismal.
Like I saw a thing comparing it to War of the Worlds last year.
But you know, it's funny though, is I saw like a meme that was showing like some of like the blurbs on Rotten Tomatoes, and some of the stuff it said, it's like, maybe I'll watch it still. It's like some of them I'm like, I'm a horror fan. I don't know. I wonder.
Brocky says, don't, they'll remake it. Oh, suddenly this is very popular. Oh, I guess we better remake it.
Oh yeah, they'll remake The Langoliers.
I mean, it couldn't hurt at this point, right? Like
have they done Tommyknockers before? Have
no.
they adapted it? No. So it'd be a first time adaptation at least. So what if Flanagan did it?
No. I'm not watching it. Like that's I'm drawing the line.
Oh man, good stuff. All right,
I'll never read it again. I'll never watch an adaptation.
I'm not sure if I've had any that I would never read again or not, but I know I haven't hit as many as you have. I know you've hit a little bit more of like, I wouldn't say obscure, but a little bit more of the deeper cuts of King than I have. So some of the ones that might fall on that pile.
I don't think I'll ever reread Desperation or Regulators again.
See,
those are so weird.
Yeah, I haven't hit those. I'm trying to think if there's anything just off the top of my head. No. Everything I think everything so far I think.
Don't bother reading The Stand anymore. It's not.
No, you bite your tongue, sir.
Yeah.
God, yeah. You know what? I don't think there's anything. Nothing that I've read is ones that I would say I would never read again. So that's.
I mean, we know you won't read anything again because you don't reread things.
I do, just not nowhere near as much as you. I just reread The Outsider, for God's sake.
Took you how long?
That's inconsequential.
Yeah.
So I also did decide to add a slide for the closing here, so I'll pull this up as we get into the outro. It also, I mean, it's good to have visually, but also it'll help me at the end when I go and do the timestamp stuff for YouTube. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the outro stuff. If you want to subscribe to us on any podcasting delivery system of your choice, you can do that. You can stream us on Spotify, Amazon Music, or Audible, any places that do podcasts nowadays. Join us for the live streams over here at youtube.com/Dark Tower Palaver. If you want to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. If you're listening on podcasts, that's totally fine. We love it. That's our roots. But if you are watching live, you could have seen Peter's
pouting.
Going from the highest of highs to the gallows dropping, and and that's what I've been like living. Again, I've been living with that for like 11 days. Where I'm just like, what the fuck, man? I just keep like.
Why?
Yeah, in my head, I just keep mulling it over. I'm just like, and I'm trying to find the positives. Again, I know it's Flanagan, so I know it'll be good,
at least watchable.
Yeah. It's not going to be some god awful fucking Children of the Corn sequel or something, or fucking something that King's going to sue to get his name off of, like Lawnmower Man. But like, there's still part of me. It's like I can't see a spot where I'm like, I absolutely can't wait. Like there's just nothing there. So, so of course, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I will try to be better about if there's ever any kind of like fuck up with like that has to move us. Like, hopefully, internet doesn't ever have an issue again. But if anything does have to move, I'll try to remember. I do have a text thing on YouTube as well. I can post like text things. And I think if you're a subscriber and stuff, I think that stuff pops up to you, I think.
Oh.
So I'll try to remember that. But ultimately, the notifications are great because it'll let you know when something moves. Of course, without having internet, I wasn't able to move it until, much later than I would have liked. Then the show notes are over at darktowerpalaver.com. Also, go to darktowerpalaver.com/marchinsanity for all the March Insanity stuff. Once this episode's in the podcast feed, I will have posted the brackets and everything that we covered in this episode, so you can look them over, maybe start your strategizing and stuff. And voting starts March 1st. Can't wait for that. And then if you want to support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/darktowerpalaver. Our monthly hangout, I forgot to mention, is next episode, which is a week from now. We're going to be watching 1408 and talking through 1408.
That I've never seen still.
Yeah, we'll finally be able to put an end to that. So
Tad has this fever dream that we went and saw.
I just thought you'd seen it as, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. And then if you want to contact the show, Peter can let you know the ways to reach out and contact us with your anger about
the mist,
a new mist thing. Although again, it can't be sentient mist. So there's like the best part about it is, it's Flanagan, so it'll probably be good. But even if we're like just someone we'd never heard of, it's like, well, he'll never be able to make something worse than what's come before.
Mist.
Yeah, or fire.
They're gonna try and redeem the mist. Is what they're gonna do. It's like the whole fucking villain redeeming shit that's going on in Hollywood. Just like, we have to redeem all villains.
Well, is the mist really a villain? It's just nature. Like, it's natural, right? Mrs. Carmody's the villain, and the people that ran Project Arrowhead.
I swear to God,
villains.
If anyone tries to redeem her, I swear to God, they're gonna get 2 in the kneecap.
Oh man! Oh, the one other thing, I guess, maybe we'll do at some point in the future when we're not so salty about it. We'll have to go through the Flanagan family and plug in some people into the roles.
No, I don't care. No, I don't want to talk about it.
Got to do it. You know what I'm thinking though? What's his name? The guy that played the dad in of the housekeeper family, and he was also the one that had the dog that got poisoned. Yeah. Like, he needs to be the neighbor. I'll just tell you that one right off the top of my head. I think he needs to be Captain Holt's character.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I just think that'd be kind of an, because I think he's always kind of more of a. I guess there is kind of
Henry Thomas is the main character, right?
Maybe Raoul. You can finally get him as a recurring, because he's not even part of the Flanagan family, because he's not. He's
only done one.
He's only done one. I will say though, it's not part of the Stephen King or Dark Tower, but they did just add Lawrence Fishburne as well as Chiwetel Ejiofor, whatever, which was in Life of Chuck. They both just got added to Exorcist. Oh, so that means Chiwetel is now a Flanagan family.
Flanagan family
so
member.
Minted and everything. But I'm just going to say, because there is like an element about the neighbor where he's like abrasive, but there's also like a whatever. But that guy's always kind of played a little bit more of like a timid whatever. So it'd be kind of interesting to see him being a little bit more abrasive and stuff. So, and not Sloane for Mrs. Carmody. I will not accept that, because that would just
Kate Siegel.
Yeah, I think Kate would be a much better pick for sure. So
but if you want to contact us, you can email us at show@darktowerpalaver.com. You can also find us on Threads and Instagram. It's darktowerpalaver, all one word, no spaces. And then we're on Blue Sky at
Peter is pouting. That's you.
That's me.
Oh yeah, different. It still shows
that the stupid names
the stupid
number. I don't know why it does that.
I guess it does say DTP Peter. So.
Yeah. But Blue Sky is at darktowerpalaver.bsky.social. And then our Twitter is at DarkTowerPod. That's at DarkTowerPod. Facebook.com/DarkTowerPalaver. And then find our merch at tpublic.com/users/DarkTowerPalaver.
Indeed. And so, yeah, with that, we'll sign off as we always do by saying long days and pleasant nights.
Long days and pleasant nights, folks.
And there are other worlds than these.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys in the chat. You guys are awesome.
Fucking missed.
I can't believe we're in another spot where you're mad about the mist again. This is the second time. It's
not weird that if I had a nickel for every time this happened, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah. First it's Sentient Mist. I mean, I guess that one just kind of. I don't remember when that one came out, but I don't think we were ever in a spot where we were covering it, or we would have known they were doing it.
No, it's
like
just we
show.
Found out that
it had already happened. Yeah. But it's kind of interesting.
So stupid.
It's like, come on, man. All right, guys, you guys are awesome. Thanks for being part of the chat. I also do appreciate the snakes in the chat. I saw at least 2.
Horrible.
So, love that.
Hashtag Baraki is terrible.
And we've got one more not disastrous book club of Hambry. So of course there's still some shit that's got to go down, but Charyu Tree is upon us next month. Or not
but weeks away.
No, I'm sorry. No. Wait, yeah, because it's February right now. So yes, yes, exactly. Less than a month from now, we will have experienced charcuterie. So
Ermont was framed. Yeah, his body was framed after he got his head blown off. The dumb.
oh,
fucking
that's a
snake.
T-shirt. Ermont was framed.
Of what? Trying to bite Roland?
He was just trying to give Roland a hug.
Yeah, with his fangs in his neck.
Oh, all right, guys. See you guys for Geekery Abides if you join us there. If not, we'll be back in a week.
Yep.
Can't even say a fortnight. All right, see you guys.
Bye.